And we are back. And it's been a while. It's been a while since we've been able to do a non-Knicks game. And boy, oh boy, does it feel really good to maybe just step away from the New York Knicks for a little bit here. Let's get right into the show. That's right, we are back, yes indeed. We are here. And are we feeling good? We're feeling okay. We're feeling all right. It's cool. The sky is not falling. We're all healthy. We have another game tomorrow. Everything continues on. The basketball season continues on. The New York Knicks will continue on. We, however, have another basketball game to cover because the NBA season continues on. It does not live or die on the backs of how the New York Knicks are playing, although they are playing pretty dang terribly. But we are here to not talk about the Knicks, to not cover the Knicks. We are here to cover the Miami Heat taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And let me tell you something. It feels pretty dang good to probably get the opportunity to watch a good basketball game. Because it's been a while since we've been able to watch a good basketball game because the Knicks had the back-to-back situation Friday and Saturday. We didn't do a game Sunday. Had to see them get beat down on Monday. That's 3 straight terrible performances from the New York Knicks and therefore 3 straight bad basketball game streams that we had to endure. And so here today, I don't care who wins, who loses, who performs well, who doesn't perform well, what player plays well. I don't care. All I want is a good, strong, competitive basketball game. That's all I'm looking for, right? We have gotten to the point where that's all I'm looking for because the New York Knicks are not providing any of that for us. So we will start with the road team, as always, and that is with Bam Adebayo. Daniel Berry Sports, Justice's dad, George Jones, appreciate y'all, appreciate you. MacBox, what's up, MacBox? Anthony GNT, what's up, Anthony? I was unable to post last night due to the embarrassment and raw disappointment in the Knicks verse. I was panicking today. What are we going to do about the big Karl Anthony Towns now? I'll tell you, Anthony, you know what they're going to do? Not a thing. Not a single thing. Not a single thing is going to happen. I think there's maybe like a 2% chance that anything happens with Karl Anthony Towns this year. He will be a New York Knicks for the foreseeable future. Maybe we could revisit this if they have a disappointing playoff performance. We could revisit this during the offseason, but nothing will happen during the season. I consider that extremely low possibility. It's not impossible. Nothing's ever impossible in the NBA. But I think that is like a 2% chance that anything happens to Karl Anthony Towns. Nothing will happen. The sky is not falling. The sky is not falling. The Knicks will play better. That's it. That's all they got to do. They got to hit the play better button. That's it. Josh Hart is expected to make his return very, very soon, as early as tomorrow, according to Ian Begley. As early as tomorrow, but probably at some point this week. So they play tomorrow, they play Friday. I would probably expect them, if not tomorrow, probably either Friday or Sunday, which is the next 2 days the Knicks play. And they will be on a West Coast road trip, so I do expect them to be back very early on in that road trip. Landry Shamet, a quick little update on him, is expected back in about a week. He is going through the progressions of actually getting back to play some basketball. That is a good sign. It's a great sign, actually. So I'm rooting for the New York Knicks to get healthy and to actually get ready to play a basketball game. I'm not going to lie. I'm not feeling this belt. I was feeling the belt. Now I'm not feeling the belt. I'm taking the belt off. Not feeling the belt at all. I don't think it looks good. Jason, what's up, Jason? Praise the Lord, we need these boys back, Sub, Sheffy, and crew. Absolutely, Jason, absolutely. As a matter of fact, good thing you said that because I'll pull it up over here. As we're going to go through the pregame here, don't want to get stuck talking about the Knicks too much because, of course, we will talk about the Knicks as the night goes on. But we do have a pregame to go through, right? It's not like our usual New York Knicks pregame because we don't get to talk about these guys nearly as often as we get to talk about our Knicks. So let's go ahead and go through it as quickly as possible. Let's talk about Bam Adebayo, who I would consider the best player for the Miami Heat. As a matter of fact, real quick, let me bring up the injury report for the Miami Heat. This is a nationally broadcasted game. It's on NBC here tonight. So I expect if guys are questionable that they will play. Jaime Jaquez is out. That's actually a huge loss with an ankle injury. Did he sprain his ankle? That's a huge loss for Miami there. But it looks like Tyler Hero is available because he's not on the injury report here for the Heat. If we go over to the Timberwolves, did the Timberwolves have anybody out today? I don't think so. The last time I checked, I think Edwards was a game-time decision. He is. Injury maintenance is questionable. Oof. Wow. All right. Hopefully we get a good basketball game here today. You know what? I don't even care who plays. Just give me a good basketball game. Just give me a good one. Vic said Pelle Larsson took up the Jaquez slack. Oh, Pelle Larsson is back. That's true. I did not see him on the injury report. That's a nice gain for them, but a huge loss with Jaime Jaquez. He's incredibly important with the way they play, which we will highlight here as we go through it. Edwards is playing. Oh, thank goodness, Jason. Thank you. I was like, oh, no, what's going to happen? Okay, thank goodness. Edwards is playing. Let me open up a window. It's hot already. I'm sweating up a storm already. And I didn't even get the shower earlier, so. Bam Adebayo, 18.5, 9.4, 2.5. He started the year on fire, ready to go. He was knocking down the three at a high clip, but now down to a little over 30%, which is obviously not very good. He's not knocking it down nearly as consistently as he was before, but he's still bringing the high-value defense and hub playing out of the high post area and getting the opportunity to play alongside a skilled big in Kel'el Ware, who we'll get to, has made his life a little bit easier in terms of like the responsibilities he has, with them also not running nearly as much pick and rolling game involving Bam Adebayo. His shots at the rim has decreased a little bit, settling a lot more for these like floating shots and mid-range jumpers, follow-away mid-range jumpers, whether they're like 10, 15, 12 feet away, it doesn't matter. Not getting into the paint as much as he was. He's still shooting it well from the field, 47%. You'd like to be, as a big 50 or over, but 47% is not too bad. 76 from the foul line, 33 from three-point ranges. You could use a little bit more out of Bam Adebayo from his perimeter shooting. Showed some promise earlier in the year. They've been down since then, unfortunately, for him. We get to Tyler Hero, who's actually in the rotation today. 23 points a game, 5 boards, 2.3 assists. They actually haven't played all that well with Tyler Hero in the rotation, despite the fact that I would probably consider him their set. Actually, honestly, with the way Norman Powell has been playing, I'd upgrade Powell now to their second best player and Tyler Hero down to their third best player here. Tyler Hero struggles mightily on the defensive end. To me, he is approaching Trae Young levels of defensive liability here. My goodness, every time he's out on the court, the other team is just like, we're going to pick on that guy. And it works. It works 9 times out of 10. I could go through, we know he can score. We know his prowess from the perimeter, 3-point shooting, 40%, from the field, 50, from the free throw line, 50, 40, 90 season for Tyler Hero so far. Obviously, he's missed a ton of time with injury, but I don't want to say empty stats because these are very good stats that are helping his team. But overall, the balance of how many points he generates for his team and how many points he gives up on the defensive side of the ball is not looking good for Tyler Hero right now. And honestly, having Bam, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Norman Powell makes Tyler Hero like the scapegoat of the team, kind of like Trae Young has become the scapegoat for the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks do just generally play better without Trae Young, who is now, according to Shams Charania, like working out a deal. He will be traded eventually. Tyler Hero, I don't suspect, will be a Miami Heat for the remainder of his career, whether that's this season, next season, or maybe even if he stays with them for a couple more years. I don't think this is a match made in heaven for them with how troubled he is defensively. Miami has always been more of a defensive-minded team, especially when you have guys like Bam and Kel'el Ware shoring up the defense. Maybe they could shore up Tyler Hero. Maybe if he digs in deeper and becomes a better defender. But as of right now, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, you gotta up your offensive game. 2.3 assists is not it. And I know he's been out for a long time, and he is a better facilitator than this. But Miami's going to need more out of him in that department if he wants to actually be a starting caliber player on this team. If not, it might be best to send him back to the bench. But once the toothpaste is out of the tube, there is no putting Tyler Hero back on the bench. Not when he knows he could average 23, 24 a game. We get to Norman Powell now. Norman Powell, who, like I said, I might have to upgrade to second best player on the team, second most important player on this team. 24 a game, 3.8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2 turnovers. Is a little high for a guy who doesn't facilitate the way he does. But this is Captain Buckets right here. My man is all about putting that ball through the basket. 41% from three-point range, damn near 50% from the field. He has been phenomenal this year. I don't know how it's possible for a guy in his 30s now to have taken a leap last year, an all-star leap at like 31 years old, and then this season on a new team, taken yet another leap. Norman Powell has been phenomenal this year. I'm very impressed with the way he's played. I'm very happy to actually see that leap that he made with the Clippers was real and wasn't just maybe a fluke season, which we've seen from players from time and time again. That wasn't a fluke because this man is still getting buckets on a new team, in a new conference, new system, all of the things, new role for him, everything different. And yet he's still able to be phenomenal for this Miami Heat team particularly. We get to Andrew Wiggins, and Andrew Wiggins to me is one of the biggest enigmas in the NBA. Like a true wild card of a player, Andrew Wiggins. You don't know what you're going to get from him on a night-to-night basis. The averages look good, 16, 5, and 3. The efficiency looks good, 47. 71 is a little low, but I'll take it. Anything above 70, I'll take. And 38 from three-point range. All of it looks good. It looks solid. It looks fine. But my goodness, can he on one night give you like 10, 3 and 1, and then on another night give you 25, 8, and 5? It's just vacillates so strongly. Whereas like other guys, when we talk about them being wild cards, it's usually them as role players, as bench guys, and Andrew Wiggins is still a role player, but as bench guys coming into the game trying to make a difference. Andrew Wiggins is a starter and a very important starter. There are some nights where he's a lockdown defender, and then some nights where he can't stay in front of anybody, and he's late on offensive rotations and all of the things. But with Miami, he has been a little bit more consistent. Let's see if it'll last. They very much need it to last if they want to like make any kind of damage in the East. I don't think they're a championship contending team, but if they could definitely make some damage in the East, upset a team or two in the playoffs, and actually make a pretty deep run. They have who I would consider the best coach in the NBA, at least one of the best coaches in the NBA, in Eric Spoelstra, who has been very, very creative in adapting his play style to this team in comparison to the way they played last year. So there it is. Like, where's my pointer? There it is. A very impressive season for Eric Spoelstra in general, but his biggest task is going to be drawing consistency out of Andrew Wiggins. David Oz Jr., what's up, David? Ozahar, what's up, Ozahar? David said, just keeping my thoughts on the Knicks quiet, very disappointed in them. I mean, you could voice your opinions, David. I understand it's probably going to be a whole lot of this team can't win a championship, and we should trade this guy and this guy and this guy and blow the team up and do what you can, go get Jan. Like, it's going to be a lot of that from a lot of different angles and a lot of different people. I disagree. I don't think the sky's falling, but, David said, at least it helps OKC is losing too. I mean, it happens. It happens to teams, right? This guy's not falling. According to Ian Begley, as a matter of fact, we could pull it up as we're going through it. Let's go ahead and pull up the next average, which is Nikola Jovic, who is, you want to speak about inconsistencies. My man just needs to be flat out better this year, and he just hasn't, unfortunately. Just that said, 4-game losing streak aren't the end of the world. The Pistons beating was rough, but we weren't at full strength. I mean, look, even if the Knicks weren't at full strength, you can't get beat by 31. So be upset, be angry, be disappointed, be frustrated, be annoyed, be all of the feelings, all of the things in the world. That beatdown should not happen in the way that it happened. The Pistons were clearly trying to send a message, and the Knicks sat down and they took their beating, which they should have gotten up and fought back a little bit. And so that's the most disappointing thing, where it just felt like the Knicks at some point just let go of the rope. Vic, what's up, Vic? I think I shouted you out earlier, Vic, but what's up, Vic? I can actually pull up Ian Begley real quick right here because he was the last person I saw who reported on the Knicks injuries. Knicks players addressed some of the struggles among themselves after the game. Wouldn't give details about a lot they could point to after this one. Players-only meeting for the New York Knicks, as reported by Steve Popper yesterday. Oh, I didn't see that yesterday. As reported by Steve Popper yesterday. Players-only meeting. Hilarious. Great. Awesome. Look at Ian Begley real quick. I can give you guys the full report of what he gave. Hart is close to returning to the court and could play tomorrow night against the Clippers. He also said something about Landry Shamet. No, don't have it here. But I do believe he also said Landry Shamet is expected maybe in a week, maybe in another week. So, just that said, Cat will punch a guy, and at this point, I don't blame them. David said Cat is becoming a problem. Cat isn't becoming a problem. Cat has always been a problem. There's nothing new with it. You want more consistency out of him. I think this year he's been far more inconsistent than last year. It is a fundamentally different play style. I think Mike Brown is also at fault a little bit. You have to prioritize a guy like Karl-Anthony Towns in the offense a little bit more to get more out of him out of the defense. But at the same time, every time we put the ball in Karl-Anthony Towns' hands and say, go to work, big man, he's picking up offensive fouls. There's just, how do you coach that? How do you coach that? So, yes, he is a problem. He's always been the exact same problem. So, I disagree with the wording. I agree with the sentiment, David, but I disagree with the wording and that he's becoming a problem. He's always been the same problem. He's always struggled with the fouls. He's always been a mediocre at best defender. This year, he's actually been decent defensively when he stays out of foul trouble, which hasn't been all that often these last couple of weeks. But again, the Knicks at some point are going to hit the play better button, and we will get back to pumping up our Knicks. Right? Ozar reminding people to like button. Appreciate you, Ozar. Appreciate you. Let's talk Nikola Jovic real quick. I'm bouncing around topics like crazy right now. Let's get to Nikola Jovic real quick, who I would say is probably having a pretty disappointing third season for him. I think they really wanted a leap out of Jovic, and they're just not getting it. They're just not getting it. He did have a pretty good game a couple of days ago, about a week ago, and just I don't know how I want to phrase this. He's sub 40 from the field. He's sub 30 from three-point range. Maybe I haven't updated these. Maybe they're a little bit higher now, but not by much. We're almost to the halfway point of the year, and he has somehow shown less flashes this year than he did during his rookie year. Not saying that there's regression happening. Development is not linear, but he's not making the leap that I think the Miami Heat development staff really want to see him make, because it's all there. It's all there for Jovic. He just hasn't taken that leap. Just that said, he's getting bullied in the refs. Clearly hate his shenanigans. Sure, we could say that. But at the same time, you just got to be better. Stop using that off arm, man. Like, part of the reason they're not calling the fouls is because every other time you're driving to the basket and there's contact, if you pause it at any point, if you show a replay at any angle, you see him grabbing the offensive player with the other arm. Like, the refs know his tricks and his gimmicks. When was the last time we saw him get away with an off-arm move? Like, listen, players can use the chicken wing or the off-arm to fend off a defender, like, as long as it's this. I don't understand the whole hook and grab thing. Nobody in the NBA ever gets away with that. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. We get the Kel'el Ware now. Kel'el Ware. I'm seriously bouncing around these things. Kel'el Ware. I love it. I'm loving it. I hope it's not too chaotic for you guys. Kel'el Ware is having a very, very, very good year. 12-10 is pretty dang good, playing alongside Bam Adebayo. He's been pretty healthy. He's been pretty available. He's in the starting lineup for them. 55 from the field, 82.5 from the foul line. The three-point shooting, I do believe, has come down a little bit here. If I could check the update, it's still over 40 though, which is incredible for Kel'el Ware. Being able to spread the court for Bam Adebayo, they need to find ways to utilize his three-point shooting a little bit more. As of right now, he's really just a catch-and-shoot guy. They don't really run him off of any screens or anything like that. I mean, that'd be a little crazy to do, but they don't really utilize him in the offense other than being as a spacer, and that's maybe the best position for him in terms of like his shot dive from three, is to just be a spacer, and if the defense collapses, spread it out to the three-point line. But the interesting about Kel'el Ware is he's a really good rebounder. He's a very good three-point shooter, but he's also a really good offensive rebounder, and so there's a balance that he's going to need to learn as he gets older, is when do I hang around the basket, when do I hang around the three-point line, and we'll see how he develops that as his career goes on. Oda Austin, what's up, Oda? Jaime Jaquez, unfortunately, is out tonight for the Miami Heat. Very much need him. He is a core part of why this offense works as well as it does for Miami, and he's just not available today with an ankle injury. Get to Davion Mitchell, who is quietly becoming one of my favorite point guards in the NBA. 10-8 for the point guard for Miami. He's kind of a little bit of a throwback to a traditional point guard. he's really just looking to set up the offense. He doesn't really look for his offense as much as maybe he could. For a guy who's shooting 50% from the field, 37% from three-point range, he could probably look for his offense a little bit more than he is. But he came into the league as a defensive first guy. The offense has slowly come around. The playmaking to me is a revelation for a guy who I thought was probably just going to be like a 3-and-D small guard, which that archetype of player in the NBA is kind of being phased out if you're a small defensive first kind of player. Even if you could shoot the three, there is no teaching height, and that's always going to be a problem for smaller guards in the NBA, no matter how good defensively they are. But him improving himself as a point guard in the league has worked wonders for him, and it's part of the reason why he's been able to win out the starting point guard role here with Miami. Pelle Larsson is back in the rotation after missing a couple of games with an ankle injury. Very much needed, archetypical 3-and-D guy. Very good defender, good size at 6'5", can shoot the three decently. The percentages don't necessarily show it, but he's still somewhat of a threat from three-point range. Teams aren't going to dare him to shoot from three. Can put the ball on the floor a little bit in terms of attacking a closeout, but outside of that, kind of your typical 3-and-D guy, mostly defense right now. The three will come along as his career goes on. Simone Fontecchio, for the most part, isn't a part of the rotation anymore when fully healthy, but with no Jaime Jaquez, expect Fontecchio to get some time. At 6'7", he's got good defensive size, even if he himself is not a very good defensive player. But when he was playing, he was shooting the heck out of the ball. Part of the reason why he's losing minutes now is he's just not shooting it nearly as well as he was to start the year, but he still has that reputation and still has the capability of knocking down threes, just actually has to start knocking them down. But outside of the three-point shooting, doesn't do a whole lot else. He's under 40% from the field, and is part of the reason why he was removed from the rotation to begin with. But expect him to play tonight with no Jaime Jaquez. Let's get over to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, who was questionable, but thankfully is playing here today. Anthony Edwards averaging damn near 30 a game, 5 boards, 3.7 assists. These are updated stats, by the way. 50% from the field, 40% from three-point range, 80% from the foul line. We know who Anthony Edwards is. Good luck. Continues to improve. He's 24 years old. Expect this man's name to be brought up in MVP discussions, maybe even this year, depending on who misses the 65-game cutoff. We could very well be seeing an Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Edwards race for that MVP this year. Whew, it's going to be fun and interesting. Going over Julius Randle, Mr. Once a Knick, always a Knick. Julius Randle having a good year. Not a great year, having a good year. 22 a game, 7 boards, 6 assists, doing very Julius Randle things out there. The turnovers are low for Julius Randle, 2.5 a game. A little high for a power forward, but with the ball handling responsibilities that this man has, of course, 2.5, not bad for Big Julius. 33 from three-point range. He started off the year in fuego from three, was laying the nets on fire, but has dropped down to about 33%. He was shooting it before around 35. He'll probably hover around 35 as the year goes on. In a mini slump right now, hovering around 33. It's not great, not good. They'll continue to dare him to shoot from three because it's a far better prospect of guarding Randle than allowing him to bully his way into the paint. So expect him to shoot some more jump shots here tonight. But he'll always find a way in the lane. He's just too big, too strong, too talented, all of the things. The Fleas. What's up, Fleas? Rudy Gobert is quietly. I wrote down here a while ago that Gobert is still really good on defense, but isn't a dominating force down in the paint as he used to be. I'm going to retract that a little bit. Rudy Gobert is having a phenomenal year this year. The numbers aren't going to show out how good he is defensively. I mean, we could look at 1.7 blocks, and we could be like, oh, yeah, he's protecting the rim. But honestly, his rim defensive field goal percentage is phenomenal. It's off the charts this year. It is in the top tier of all the other rim protectors in the league. He's flying around. He's doing excellent things for his team. The offense is actually a little bit better than what it usually is. The rebounding is up at 11 a game. He's playing extremely well this year. Not talked about enough is how good Rudy Gobert has been playing. And they need Rudy Gobert because without Rudy Gobert, they don't really have a defense, right? Their backup center is Naj Reid, who we know is not really a center. So Rudy Gobert, shout out to him. I just wanted to point out the fact that even I was discounting him a little bit at the start of the year. He is at 33 years old, which is when you start to really see the decline of star players like Rudy, especially for guys like him who don't really have an offensive game. Right? He's literally just lob and dunk guy, offensive rebound and putback guy, which, you know, it is what it is. His value always came on the defensive side of the ball, and at 33 years old, I fully expected the defense to decline. And at the start of the year, it looked like, yeah, I mean, he's still very good starting center, especially on the defensive side. But as the year has gone on, he's picked it up and he's been significantly better and is kind of just like rounding into regular Rudy Gobert form on the defensive side. Zane Pog, what's up, Zane? Not going to lie, as a Wolves fan, Rudy has been really great for us lately. He's been very good, hasn't he, Zane? He's been very good so far. Like I said, I'm going to eat my words a little bit from how I was describing him earlier in the year. Should probably change the context now. But he's been, why do I got to fly in here? Oh, this is going to bother me. But he's been very good this year. He's been, and like I said, he started a little slow, but everybody starts a little slow. It's just always going to be more noticeable when it's a defensive guy starting slow because it's easy to pick on. Like, oh, you're supposed to be the big defensive stopper and you're not, living up to your reputation. It's always easy to pick on the defensive guy because it's like, well, you should be there defensively. Like, it's not like an offensive guy gets off to a slow start and it's just them missing shots. You can be like, oh, well, those shots will go down. Oftentimes when defensive guys get off to a slow start, we're like, oh, yeah, he's washed, it's over. And it's like, no, he's just starting slow or going through a slump or whatever. You can go through defensive slumps the same way you can go through offensive slumps. Zane said he's been blocking, protecting the rim, contesting those shots. He is doing good. That rim protection, whether he gets the block or not, he's only averaging 1.7. Whether he gets the block or not, he's doing a great job of contesting at the rim, forcing missed shots without fouling, grabbing rebounds, 11 a game, I do believe, is hovering around a career high. But he's been very good. Manuel Mercado, what's up, Manuel? Let's go over to Jaden McDaniels, and after an extremely hot start to start the year, he's now come back down to earth to 42% from three-point range, which is still excellent, but it's a far cry from where he was about 10 games ago, where he was standing at around 47% from three-point range. This is much more like, okay, this is normal. 47% from three-point range, 20 games of the year is like, whoa, that's crazy. 42 is much more manageable, much more normal, especially considering that he wasn't a very consistent three-point shooter last year or throughout his career. Obviously, at only 25 years old, he's still developing, still continuing to grow. But the 16-point per game average was once 18 points per game. It went down to 16. Now it's down to 14.5. 4.5 boards, 2.8 assists. He's slowing down a little bit offensively, but the offensive leap is still technically there. The threat of him as a perimeter shooter is now very real. You want to run this guy off the line now, or at least force him to shoot contested shots. And at 6'9", he could just shoot over a ton of guys. Rounding out his offensive game has only helped this team. He's been very good. Very good. We get to Dante DiVincenzo, Mr. Once a Knick, always a Knick like Julius. And I know we all miss Dante, and with the Knicks struggling right now, I know we're all romanticizing a Dante DiVincenzo reunion. Like I've been telling people, don't expect that. Don't expect that. Minnesota really loves Dante DiVincenzo. Zane said Jaden has to be better offensively tonight for us to win. He can't miss those open threes. He's been missing a lot of open threes. Like I said, when you drop from 47% to 42%, that's a big drop-off. That's a big slump. But again, that's probably more natural to be hovering around 42% as a very good shooter than 47. 47 is crazy. 47 is crazy, especially for a starter like him. Namar, what's up, Namar? Thoughts on John Harbaugh leaving the Ravens? I don't really have a ton of thoughts on it. I'm not a Ravens fan. They had a terrible year. It was written all over the wall. Change was needed, very much needed. Dante, we know what Dante's capable of. 36% from three-point range is not what you want to see from Dante when that's really like his biggest skill. He's obviously good at other things, but 40% from the field is also not that good. You want to see him shoot it better and be more efficient from the field. 13 a game is cool. It's fine. 4.5 rebounds, 4 assists is solid. But you want to see some better efficiency from him. They need it. And I feel like he does get pretty decent looks. He's just, for whatever reason, not knocking him down the way he was when he was with the New York Knicks. Maybe he just needs to come back to New York, baby. Just come back to New York, Dante. The Fleas, Devo. Listen, it's crazy, but he has been with Minnesota significantly longer than he's been with than he was with the New York Knicks. He only spent 1 year with the Knicks. He's now a year and a half into his Minnesota tenure here. Zane said Dante is going through a low slump lately. He's got to step up tonight. I mean the efficiency is down. And when your job is to shoot threes, brother, and obviously his job is a little bit more than that. He's more than just a three-point shooter. He can do a little bit more, but this is your biggest job. This is your priority, and 36% from three-point range is just not good enough. Namar said, as a Giants fan, I am happy. Maybe, John Harbaugh and the Giants, I could see it. Namar said, my dad said losing streak Knicks could bring Dante DiVincenzo. Don't have high expectations for Dante DiVincenzo, brother. There is no reason why Minnesota would want to give up Dante. They love Dante there. Anthony Edwards loves Dante. He's very likely to stay with this Minnesota Timberwolves team. The only reason they would ever consider trading Dante is if they think they can improve their point guard situation. And I don't think that the Knicks have the answers for their point guard situation unless it's some kind of big mega 3-team deal, and I don't see that coming. Not impossible, but I don't see it coming. We get to Naj Reid. Naj Reid, correct me if I'm wrong, Zane. Naj Reid is on a little bit of a heater as of late, playing extremely well, getting his efficiency back up there. 40 after a really slow start to the year, 46% from the field, 30. I'll round up for him. 37% from three-point range now, 80% from the foul line, 14.3 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.4 assists. He has a tough job as the backup center, essentially as the backup center for Rudy Gobert, considering he's not really a center. At 6'9", he's more of a power forward. He can slide down to a small ball 5 situation, but when he plays 5, you should probably have a better defender at the 4 rather than Julius Randle, which is oftentimes lineups that they like to go to. Zane said Nas been going crazy these past 3 games. Absolutely, Zane. See, I'll be keeping my eye on the league. I'll be watching around. Y'all think I only watch the Knicks, but I'll be watching basketball as much as possible. I'll be tuned in. I'm tuned in. Naj Reid has been incredible as of late, and they're going to need him to continue to be incredible if they're going to want to beat the Miami Heat tonight. It is in Minnesota, so they should have that on their side, but it is a national TV game. So I expect Naj Reid to go off yet again here today. And they're also going to need him to battle some of the bigs inside between Bam and Khalil Ware. His three-point shooting should be able to pull them away from the basket, and that's very important. We get to Mike Conley, the elder statesman of the team, and it might be time for Big Mike. Mike is only shooting 36% from the field and 36% from three-point range. It's getting rough out there for Mike Conley right now. He's not playing a ton of minutes. 5 points a game, 3 assists. Again, if they had a better point guard situation, he could be on the bench, kind of like Kyle Lowry, and essentially transition himself into being an assistant coach for this team. But they still need point guard play. They still need a heady, smart basketball player on the court to help carry over the coach's message and whatnot. They're not even starting a point guard. They have Edwards and DiVincenzo in the backcourt. Neither one of those guys are point guards. Edwards and DiVincenzo kind of sharing the backup duties. I love Mike. I love the career he's had. He's got something left in the tank, but it's not as a backup point guard right now, right? I even wrote down here, the only reason he's really getting playing time is because of his cleverness and craft. It's the only reason he's been able to last as long as he's been able to last. Zane said, Uncle Mike, it's rough on defense, really. Yeah, and 38-year-old point guard, 6 feet tall, who, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? With the, as big as the league is getting and how good point guards are getting and how tall point guards are getting, it's rough on Mike Conley to have him out there as a point guard right now. Playing like legit minutes. It is rough. It is rough. And so, I had to throw Bones Highland up in there. Bones Highland is kind of cemented. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zane, but Bones Highland has kind of cemented himself as the backup point guard off the bench for Minnesota for a while. The coaching staff, Chris Finch, and the entirety of the coaching staff, Chaos Kid, what's up, Chaos Kid? We're kind of trying to see who was going to win out that battle between Bones Highland and Rob Dillingham. Rob Dillingham would get the benefit of the doubt considering that they used, I believe, the 7th overall pick, maybe the 8th overall pick, something like that, on Rob Dillingham, trading some assets, trading into the lottery that year to take Rob Dillingham, trying to answer their point guard questions, and Rob Dillingham just hasn't answered those. Matter of fact, he's made them a lot more difficult for them to answer because he hasn't really been all that playable. So much so that Bones Highland stepped in there and has taken his spot as the backup. Zane said Bones is good and the better PG than Rob for now at least. Yeah, for now. The hope is that Rob Dillingham will continue to develop and find his way and actually become a point guard for this team. But, with all that they invested in, the fact that the Minnesota Timberwolves, and rightfully so, see themselves as a championship contending team, they really needed Rob Dillingham to pan out a lot sooner than he has so far. Still room for him, but Bones Highland, confidence and where he is in his career has come in, giving them energy, giving them effort, giving them ball handling, giving them shooting, even though the percentage doesn't necessarily show that. His reputation tells you that you should probably get out on this guy and guard him. The Flea said Rob can't, very talented though. He is very talented, but the confidence seems a little shaky with Rob Dillingham right now, especially considering that he just got beat out for his backup point guard spot by Bones Highland when they were kind of just trying to hand Rob Dillingham the backup point guard minutes, and he just didn't really work out. So that's going to wrap up our pregame coverage right there. We're going to get ready for tip-off any second here. Great. Perfect timing. Zane said Uncle Mike and Bones rotating is our go-to for now at the point guard. Thank you, Zane. Thank you. I love having fans of teams that we don't get to watch on a nightly basis in the chat, so I could ask you guys directly. Chaos Kid said the Wolves really stuck the Knicks with the stiff. They didn't. They didn't, brother. He said the dream Giannis trade is looking better every day. There is no dream Giannis trade. If the Knicks traded for Giannis, it would not be a dream. It would be like a reality of like, okay, we're not competing for a championship this year. If you want Giannis on the Knicks, go boot up 2K, brother. All right, here we go. They're going through the player introductions. Let's get ourselves situated here. We have a couple of games going on. As a matter of fact, hold on. My audio is not set up the way I needed to be set up. Got to be coming through the TV up there so you guys don't hear. There we go. Now we can turn this on. Actually, matter of fact, let me lower the volume on the TV itself. There you go. Then we can turn the volume on. Boom. And you guys can't hear anything. Boom. There we go. Now we're full screen up there. We have this over here. We have a couple of games tipping off all already. We got Spurs Grizzlies tipping off now. Magic Wizards at halftime. The Wizards being the Magic. There's been crazy upsets going on lately. And you know what? Those are the doldrums, the dog days of the regular season. Right? The Wizards pull out this victory against the Magic. The Hornets slapped up the Oklahoma City Thunder the other night. The Pacers are beating the Cavs right now at halftime. The sky is not falling, y'all. The sky is not falling. We got Mavericks Kings as the late game today. I don't know how interesting that game is. That's a rough one. That is a rough one. Okay, I said, please take that stiff off our hands. Raph Torres, what's up, Raph? How you doing, Sheffy? I'm just saying hi. I'm not going to watch the score. Cheering for the Lakers today, I guess the Pelicans. Cheering for the Lakers against the Pelicans today. I don't really have a vested interest there. I'd like to see the Pelicans win. I like to see these tanking teams, these teams that are losing, pick up victories here today. So I'd like to see the Pelicans pull off a victory against the Lakers. I'd like to see maybe the Grizzlies beat the Spurs. I'd definitely like to see the Wizards beat the Magic. I'm rooting for the Wizards. We're all rooting for the Wizards, right, Knicks fans? Right? We're all rooting for the Wizards. Pacers beating the Cavs would be nice. Minnesota, by the way, they just mentioned, is 3-3 in their last 6 games, so they're also experiencing a bit of a skid. I don't love how this is like 720p. The resolution on this is terrible. YouTube TV, fix yourselves, man. What is this? What is this nonsense? All right, let's just get to our game cast. Everybody coming out for the jump ball. Let's do it. Let's do it. 48 minutes on the clock. Another brand new game. And let's get to it. Boom. Pull out a little bit. There we go. Boom. More up. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Ian Begley just had a tweet. Hold on. 35 minutes ago. This was Karl Anthony Towns. Let me look at Landry Shamet. We get ready for the tip here. Delaware versus Gobert. Timberwolves win the tip, and now we're going to bring it down, and here we go. Edwards has it up top, coming to his left, pull-up 3 for him. Got it to go to start the game. Okay. Okay. And for some reason, this is still on 720p, but we'll work with it, y'all. We'll work with it. Davion Mitchell has it up top. Do I have the right game on? I do have the right game on. There we go. Zoom in a little bit here. And a kick ball. Landry Shamet is nearing a return, expected within the week, possibly the week after. Josh Hart could be available tomorrow versus the Clippers. That's where I saw it. Oh, no. The Knicks say he'll be out versus the Clippers, and Shamet is still out with the shoulder sprain. Coming out, Norman Powell misses a 3. They get it out the weekends. Back to Norman Powell for a relocation 3. Got it to go this time. And we're tied at 3 to start the game. Here we go. Edwards bringing it down, being guarded by Mitchell. Edwards dancing with it up top, coming to his left to get it over to DiVincenzo. Wide open left corner 3. DiVincenzo, you got to knock those down, big dog. Comes up short on it. Here comes Bam Adebayo off the rebound, bringing it down. Cross-court pass. Powell, another 3. Is he feeling it like that? Oh, he's feeling it like that. He missed the first one, but these last 2 that he's made have been hitting nothing but net. DiVincenzo trying to answer. He can't. I don't love that shot from Devo, especially after he missed your first one. Mitchell, cross-court pass to Powell, who's clearly feeling it. Being guarded by McDaniels. He's dancing with the ball. Sidestep, pump fake, back up top to Mitchell. Mitchell sprays it out. Wiggins in the left wing, pump fakes, driving to his right down the lane, throws up a floater. Can't get it to go. Randall with the rebound. Or Edwards with the rebound. Then he comes down holding his left knee. Not great. Not great. Don't want to see that. Namar said the Celtics are playing the Nuggets tomorrow. I got the Nuggets beating the Celtics tomorrow. Hopefully. The Flea said I'm lagging so bad today. Namar said is Landry Shamet playing tomorrow? Landry Shamet is not playing tomorrow. The only guy who could be playing tomorrow is maybe Josh Hart. But we don't know yet. As of right now, he's still ruled out. Edwards dancing with it on the right wing, coming to his left. Pull up three straight away. Got it to go. Anthony Edwards came up holding his knee. Then comes down and knocks down the three. Okay, Anthony Edwards now 2 for 2 from three-point range to start the game. Mitchell gets it over to Wiggins. Now over to Bam. Bam being guarded by Gobert. Leans in, step back, mid-range jumper over Gobert. Got it to go. Tough shot for Bam, but he got it to go. And he's very capable of doing that. And a turnover. Ooh, so he came up limping over the knee, which obviously always makes you nervous, but it was just simply knee-to-knee contact between he and Wiggins as he went up for a rebound. So if anything, maybe it's a contusion. Powell pump fakes Dante DiVincenzo out of his shoes and then turns around and knocks down an easy mid-range pull-up jumper. My goodness. Just that said, not a hater, but glad Devo didn't get an assist on the Ant leadoff three. McDaniel was a fall-away mid-range jumper. Misses that badly over Bam Adebayo. And Colwell with the rebound. They get it out to Davion Mitchell, bringing it down, putting his head down, attacking, throws a lob up. Can't get it to go. Gobert knocked it loose to kick it out to Wiggins for a three, and he got it to go down. And Miami is spraying threes from all over the place right now. My goodness, Miami. Comes Edwards bringing it down the other way. They lob it over the top to Randall. Wiggins goes for the steal. He can't get it. And then Randall throws it inside the Rudy Gobert, who spun and pivoted seemingly unnecessarily, but he gets the dunk to go down for Rudy Gobert. Nice pass and delivery from Julius Randle. We saw the double team coming and delivered a nice pass. Davion Mitchell on the right wing driving it down to kick it out to Bam. Bam lobs it inside to Colwell, who responds with a two-handed dunk of his own. Bad defense from Minnesota there, particularly from Gobert. And a great pass from Bam. They get over to Randle on the right wing for a three. Can't get it to go. Now here comes Mitchell, shot out of a cannon, bringing it down the other way. He's great at pushing the pace for Miami here. Leaves it off for Mitchell. Leaves it off for Powell. Back to Mitchell for a three. Comes up well short on it. Wiggins with the offensive rebound and then knocked out of bounds by Bam, so the ball will go back to Minnesota. Namar said, hopefully we get Landry Shamet back next week. Hopefully. They said possibly this week, but probably next week, so we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. Here comes Edwards bringing it down. Dancing with it. Coming to his right. Up top, Julius Randle. Being guarded by Colwell. Pulls it back out to the three-point line. He's going to dance with it. Settle for the mid-range pull-up jumper. In and out, can't get it to go. Bam knocks the rebound loose. It's still loose. Bam picks it up, and he's bringing it down now. The 3-on-3. They get it out to Mitchell. Mitchell up top to Powell. Catches, pump fake, sidestep straight away. Can't get it to go. Maybe looking for a foul call. And the ball's still loose. And Miami keeps it alive as Bam has it to kick it out. Davion Mitchell, an open three. Can't get that one to go. Colwell the offensive rebound, but he can't keep it alive as Randle rips it out of his hands. Here comes Edwards bringing it down the other way. Edwards on the left wing, dancing with it. Goes right into the defense, loses the handle. Bad drive from Edwards. Good defense from Wiggins. Wiggins bringing it down the other way against the full court pressure from Edwards, trying to get the ball back. Wiggins has it up top. Driving to his left now, blows past Edwards, leaves it off inside for Ware. Ware against Gobert, leans in, flips it up with the left hand, comes up well short, shot up an air ball. Maybe looking for some contact, doesn't get the call though. DiVincenzo throws up a terrible lob pass, and Bam easily breaks it up. That's did you vote for your All-Stars? It seems trivial. You can every 6 hours. If you guys are not voting for your All-Stars, go ahead. Hit up NBA.com. Vote for your All-Stars. Y'all get them votes in. Make your voice be heard. Make your voice be heard. Dante DiVincenzo, a sidestep three. Continues to miss fire here as he misses that one. 15-8 still with under 7:30 to go here. Powell driving it down against past McDaniels. Throws a lob up to Colwell. Again, the big men involved. And Randle bringing it down the other way. In and out dribble against Wiggins. Backing him down in the paint. Leans in, puts it above glass. Got it to go for Julius Randle. And here comes Davion Mitchell bringing it down the other way. Mitchell gets it over to Wiggins. Wiggins gets it in the corner to Bam. Bam being guarded by Gobert. Looking to isolate, crosses over to his left, down the lane, scoop layup with the left hand, got it to go past Gobert. 19-10 here, approaching the halfway point of this first quarter. Randall up top, coming to his right. Being guarded by Powell. Backing down. On the mismatch, Randall leans in, throws up a floater. Got it to go for Julius Randle. They hit ahead to Bam. Bam has it up top, being guarded by Gobert. On fakes from three. Gobert closes the airspace to get back up top to Mitchell. Mitchell being guarded by Edwards. Walking him down. Mid-range pull-up jumper for Davion Mitchell. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Edwards with the long rebound, bringing it down the other way. Edwards up top. Leaves it off. No, he still keeps it. Now dancing around a Gobert screen. Spins to his right. Gets open space. Straightaway three. Comes up short. Can't get it to go. Khalil with the rebound. And here comes Bam. Still 19-12 here, and we're past the halfway point. Bam bringing it down. Whole lot of basketball. Not a whole lot of stoppages in play. You gotta love it. Wiggins sidestep mid-range jumper. Off the back rim. Can't get it to go. We had jump shots going down all over the place between both sides, and now neither team can buy a jump shot. McDaniels hands it off to DiVincenzo. Back up top to Randall. Randall fakes the handoff. Gets it out to Edwards. Edwards coming to his right up the Randall screen, putting his head down, attacking all the way to the basket. Scoop layup, higher off glass, can't get it to go, but that's because he's fouled by Khalil Ware. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. That's a Powell and All-Star, no doubt? Probably. Maybe a little bit of doubt, but he's probably an All-Star. Been fantastic. Let me refresh this stream, because it is terrible quality for me. I don't know about you guys, but my stream for this is like, what is it? 480p. My goodness, give me the 1080-60. Thank you. Jeez Louise. I was watching that whole half a quarter. I watched it in 480p, y'all. What is this? 2002? $720p was definitely around mid-2000s. At least 720p. Everyone has scored except for Davion Mitchell, who's 0 for 3 from the field for the Heat. G-Way, Fred, what's up, G-Way? Is Tyler playing? I thought Tyler was playing. He wasn't on the injury report. He wasn't on the injury report, so I assumed he was playing. Unless I didn't scroll down far enough. That would be pretty crazy. This is just ESPN's injury report, but no, he should be available, so he might be coming off the bench today. Hold on. Is he even available? Coming off the bench? I mean, they have Jaime Jaquez available, and he's coming off the bench, so we'll see. Just going to have to wait and see. Hero available, not starting. Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you. Hero's available, but not starting. Interesting to not start him. We talked about earlier him possibly being better as a bench player anyway, with the way he plays defense. So as of 2 to 3 hours ago, Josh Hart and Landry Shamet are both officially out of tomorrow's game. So don't expect a sudden Josh Hart announcement that he'll play tomorrow. He is already listed as out. So he will not make his return tomorrow, but he should be making his return at some point during the West Coast road trip. If not, returning for the first game of that West Coast road trip. G-Way said, appreciate it. That's crazy. I got him on my ticket. What you got him for, G-Way? What you got him for? So far, everybody scored with Mitchell, like we said, for the Heat. And as for the Timberwolves, it's been Edwards, Randall, and Gobert with a dunk. That's it. DiVincenzo is 0 for 3. McDaniels is 0 for 1. He had a bad miss. DiVincenzo, all 3 of his threes have not been very close. So it's kind of been the Anthony Edwards show and the Julius Randle show. Outside of that, not a whole lot going on for the Wolves. As for the Miami Heat, they're moving the ball around well. Everybody getting in on the action. Not boding well for Minnesota unless they can get their other guys involved. Here we go. Tyler Hero checks in. His first game back after missing 11, so that's why he's coming off the bench. Edwards is at the foul line. Knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. G-Way said 16 points for Tyler Hero. Very doable. Very doable. Edwards knocks down both. 19-14. We'll see. The only thing that can maybe hold him back tonight is either just a really off shooting night, which, can happen, but also if he's on a minutes restriction, not sure, but they swing it out to Hero, extra pass to Bam. Bam attacking out of the corner, step back, mid-range follow-away jumper over Gobert, can't get it to go, well contested. Mike Conley picks up the rebound, he's bringing it down the other way. Naz Reid has also checked in. Get it over to Edwards. Edwards being guarded by Powell. Edwards faces up, jab step. Tries to swing through along the baseline, gets knocked out of bounds by Powell. Good hands from him. And Miami will get to reset their defense here. Edwards gets it into Gobert. Gobert gets it over to McDaniels. Under 5 to go. They get it over to Edwards. High post being guarded by Mitchell. Back into his left. Step back. Pump fake. Double clutches. Comes up short on the mid-range shot. Good help from Norman Powell at the last second there. Davion Mitchell with the long rebound, bringing it down. Leaves it off for Powell. Pump fakes and then gets ran into by McDaniels, and it's a foul on the floor. And Powell's upset with it. Niall Dimitri, what's up, Niall? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. They get it into Davion Mitchell. And an off-ball foul on Norman Powell. Oh, no, on Anthony Edwards, excuse me. Miami finally gets it impounded to Davion Mitchell here. They get it over to Powell, curling down the middle of the lane, gets caught in the air and throws it out of bounds. Ball going back to Minnesota. One of the cardinal sins of basketball. Jumping in the air to pass. Here comes Conley bringing it down. Has it on the right wing. They get it over to McDaniels. Swings through to his left. Straight away three, pull up. Can't get it to go. And the perimeter shot's now not falling for either side. Hero hit ahead to Jovic. Driving it down the middle of the lane. Loses the handle. McDaniels takes it right out of his hands. Jovic continuing to struggle here. And McDaniels, beautiful drive down the middle of the lane. Tried to hit a bump Euro on Bam, but he dropped it off to Gobert at the last second for an easy two-handed slam, and it's back to a one-possession game here, 19-16, with 4 minutes to go. Mitchell gets it over to Hero, now over to Powell. Powell pump fakes, gets ran into by Edwards, and it's a foul on the floor yet again. And that is the second foul on Anthony Edwards. Jalen Clark is going to come in here for Anthony Edwards. They got to get him off the court with the 2 fouls here. 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Davion Mitchell has it up top. They get it over to Hero. Hero being guarded by McDaniels. Coming to his left off a Bam screen. Drive it down. Step back. Get it up top to Larson. Larson gets it over to Hero. Hero dances with it against Gobert. Leans in. Loses the handle. Not a good start for Hero. Here comes McDaniels bringing it down. They kick it out to Reid. Extra pass to Conley. Conley being guarded by Larson, who's down with the game. Conley has it on the right wing. Going to run pick and roll with Gobert. Coming to his right. He's got space, so he's going to step back for a 3 and almost airballs it. It barely grazes the rim. Hero with the long rebound. They get it over to Larson. Larson's going to put his head down and attack. Gets caught in the air and almost travels with it, but saves it out to Bam. Bam's going to eat up the space to kick it out to Jovic. Catches, pump fake, driving down the lane, takes some contact, puts it up off glass. Got it to go. No real rim protector in the game with Rudy Gobert out on the perimeter there for the Timberwolves. And an easy lay-in for Jovic there. McDaniels, bump Euro, can't get the layup there. Good help from Bam Adebayo, and good job by not fouling. 21-16, a 5-point game. Mitchell rushing it down the other end, kicks it out to Hero for a 3, and he got it to go for his first shot attempt and his first basket of the game. And just like that, Miami finds themselves back up by 8, 24-16 with under 3 minutes to go. Gobert has it up top, hands it off to Reed. Reed dancing around the screen. He's going to put up the straightaway three. In and out, can't get it to stay. Jovic with the rebound. Hit ahead to Hero, and Hero just takes his eye off the ball, and it slips right out of his hand. Ball going back to Timberwolves here. And a full timeout for Miami here. Want to take a quick breather. A quick breather for Miami. 24-16, 8-point lead. The fact that Minnesota is only mustering up 16 points right now. We are truly in the dog days of the regular season. Joseph, what's up, Joe? We could save box score watch for halftime, but for now we can look at the team stats. Miami is taking 2 more shots. Watching the possession battle is incredibly important, right? Miami's taken 2 shots so far as of tonight. They are 4 for 8 from 3, and Minnesota's only 2 for 10. Only 2 free throws have been taken so far in this game. Uh, 15 rebounds to 6. My goodness, 15 rebounds to 6. Already winning by 9. That is 12 missed shot attempts for the Timberwolves. That's where the 10 rebounds come from. Or 15 rebounds. They have 3 offensive rebounds. Kay Hazy said everybody's tired. Everybody's tired. The true dog days of the regular season have arrived. We are approaching the halfway point. This is the time of the season where every team is like, how many more games we got to the All-Star break? As a matter of fact, we can look up when the All-Star break is for the NBA. The NBA All-Star break 2026 is the 13th to the 15th of February. So we have about a month. And every team right now is getting to that point where they're like, every good team, mostly, because they're actually playing for something real, like, standings, seeding, all kinds of things. And so every team's looking at their watch, looking at their calendar. They're like, we got another month. We got like 15 more games of this before we get a week off. It's getting crazy. It's for sure getting crazy out there. Matter of fact, with the All-Star game, we can take a look at the Knicks. The Knicks schedule. They play the Clippers tomorrow. We know this. And it is a 7:30 start time. It is in New York. Cool. Great. Penelope, what's up? What's up, Penelope? Injuries. He's been cleared for light court work. We were in 1 week. That was a week ago. Same with Shamit. The 27th. Still no real updates on them, but we did get an update that they're very close to returning. We look at the schedule for the Knicks. Let's get these losses off the screen. We get the Clippers, and then we're on the road at Phoenix, at Portland, at Sacramento, at Golden State, and then back home against Phoenix. So if the All-Star break is the 13th, February 13th, they have Philly, Wednesday. On the second night of a back-to-back again. My goodness. We're back into the game. Naj Reid knocks down a layup. All right, let's get back to the game. Hilarious. Truly hilarious. Truly hilarious. Jovic has it up top to get it over to Drew Smith. Smith gets it over to, is that Jaku Chonis? Jaku Chonis driving it down in the lane. Pump fake goes up with a layup. Got it to go down. Oh, no, that's not Jaku Chonis. That is Pell Larson, excuse me. Larson gets the tough layup to go down. And then quickly pushing the other way. McDaniels in the paint gets fouled by Drew Smith. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. Chef, what's up, Chef? Appreciate you, brother. He said, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to have more great games like this. Appreciate you, Chef. Appreciate you, man. Lamar said, hopefully we get them back for the Suns. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. At this point, with the way they're kind of phrasing the injury updates for these guys, I'm expecting Josh Hart back for the Suns at this point. And I'm hoping for Landry to be available for at some point in this West Coast road trip, probably towards the end of it. Bruce Fowler, what's up, Bruce? Under 2 to go. Timer's way off. My apologies. McDaniels did knock down his 2 free throws. Jovic gets it over to Hero. Hero dancing with it against Randall. Randall, they kick it out in the corner. Drew Smith pump fakes, fires a 3. Got it to go for Drew Smith. Let's back up to 9. Conley has it up top, hands it off to McDaniels. He's got a free run in the basket. Big one-handed hammer in the lane for Jaden McDaniels. And here comes Wiggins bringing it the other way. Wiggins crosses over. They get it over to Smith. Now out to Hero. Hero stops. Hero steps down the lane, gets caught in the air, almost throws it away. Does throw it away. McDaniels, nope. Almost throws it away. McDaniels came up with the steal, but couldn't keep it in play as it goes out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Miami here. They get it over to Hero. Hero dancing with it to get it to Jovic. Jovic, a left wing 3, comes up short. Randall with the rebound, bringing it down the other way. Randall has it on the left wing, dancing with it, putting his head down, attacking, swings it out. Naz Reid, wide open right wing 3. Hero doesn't close out, can't get it to go. Hero with the long rebound, bringing it down the other way. Hit ahead to Smith. Smith gets it back to Hero. Hero up top, dancing with it against Jalen Clark, crossing over to his right. Hero steps to his left, puts up the floater with his right, can't get it to go. And Randall secures a one-handed rebound over Jakuchonis. Randall one-on-one against Jakuchonis here. Putting his head down, spinning, goes right past Jakuchonis and gets the easy lefty layup to go. Or is that Pell Larson? I keep confusing Jakuchonis with Larson. My apologies. That was Larson. Drew Smith has it up top, attacking, behind the back, coming to his left, past Naz Reid, gets in the lane, and gets blocked out of bounds. Got to look for that drop-off pass, Drew Smith. Can't rise up and land the Giants there. 18 seconds to go here. Namar said, hopefully Landry Shamet back for the Warriors game. Wiggins with a 3, can't get it to go. 15 seconds remaining. Here comes Conley bringing it down. They're going to hold it for what should be the final shot of the quarter here. Conley up top, calling for a screen. Coming to his right up the Randall screen. Pocket pass to Randall, rolling down to kick it out. Naz Reid, another wide open 3, and this time he gets it to go and makes them pay. And it's back to a 2-point game to get it into Smith. He's going to fire a 3/4 court heave. Comes up short, can't get it to go, and that will be the end of our first quarter here, 29-27. Pretty good game. Minnesota battling back to keep it competitive. Don't want to fall too far behind here tonight. Just that's it. Hitting threes and not playing inside defense. Fair. Very fair. Miami doing a really good job of getting everybody involved, though, I will say. Minnesota not doing nearly as good of a job. Antonio Hutcherson, what's up, Antonio? Is Rudy not going to get his rebounds tonight? How many rebounds does Rudy have? We normally don't go over box scores after the first quarter. But Rudy Gobert he's got no rebounds so far. Part of the reason he doesn't have any rebounds is because Miami didn't miss a ton of shots. And when they did, they were mostly 3-point shots. So they are 12 for 26 from the field. 11 of their 26 shot attempts were from 3. 6 of their 14 misses were from 3, so there were long rebounds. Not a ton available for Rudy Gobert to grab. I'm sure he'll get his rebounds later on in the game as both teams will hopefully slow down a little bit here. We could also go around the league. Ozahar, what's up, Ozahar? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We could also go around the league. A couple of interesting games going on. A lot of tanking teams trying to catch competitive teams sleeping here. Indiana up by 5 on the Cavs. It's a close game. Magic ran out the gym right now. 26-point lead for the Wizards over the Magic. Guys. Just that's in McDaniels is there, Mikal Bridges. Guys. Oh, you guys can't see it properly. Guys. When I tell you the sky's not falling. 26-point deficit to the Wizards. At least the Knicks are losing to good basketball teams. Spurs with a 10-point lead over the Grizzlies. Champagny looking for an encore performance with 15 points. Don't tell me he's got 5 threes. Don't tell me Champagne's got 5. He's got 4 threes. He's probably got fouled on a 3-point attempt. My goodness, he's trying. He's looking for an encore performance, Julian Champagny. Obviously, the Heat Timberwolves game is the game we're covering here tonight, and then Lakers with a 2-point lead over the Pelicans, and then of course we have our late game. Starts at 11, which is way too late of a start time. That's a Champagny and Johnny. One of those two brothers should be a Knick. Keep it at that. I'll keep it at that. One of those two brothers got to be a Knick. It's probably not going to be Julian because he's on a very good Spurs team and is obviously very good there. Go ahead, bring Justin back home to New York. Wiggins down the lane, leaves it off for Jovic. Jovic can't get the layup to go off glass. Naj Reid finally secures the rebound, and now here comes the Timberwolves bringing it down the other way. Randall spins in the lane, the double team, he spins again. Jab step, kicks out to Highland. Highland left open from 3. He's just going to fire it up. Too strong, can't get it to go. Jovic with a nice strong rebound, bringing it down the other way. It head to Hero. Hero crosses over, down the lane, kicks it out to Smith. Back to Hero. Hero hesitates from 3. Ran up the line by Edwards. Pump fake, steps through, kicks it out to Smith. Smith behind the back, coming to his left. In the lane, pulls it all the way back out, and then get it out to Larson. Now they spring it back to Jovic. Inside to Wiggins against DiVincenzo. Spins, can knock down the floater. Edwards with the rebound, over to DiVincenzo, hit ahead to Highland. Highland down the lane, kicks it out to a wide open Naj Reid. He's had wide open look tonight, and he knocks that one down there as Minnesota has taken a 1-point lead here. Finally retaking the lead. Here comes Larson bringing it down the other way, putting his head down, attacking. Bump, floater, can't get it to go, no foul call. Or is that Jovic? That was Jovic with the bad shot attempt there. They shovel it over to Randall, crosses over down the lane, leads into the defense, gets the layup to go. And the foul? Thought maybe they were going to call that a charge. Nope, they give him the and one layup for Julius Randle, who's going to go to the foul line for one more. $10:30 to go. 10:40 to go. Randall the line for one more. He misses the free throw. Can't be missing free throws. He did get the layup to go. 32-29. 12-0 run for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Down by 9 to up by 3. Or down by 8 to up by 3. Hero step back, pump fakes. Gets it over to Smith. Back to Hero. Kicks it out to Larson. A wide open left corner 3. Great ball handling and decision making from Miami there to end up with an open 3 from Larson. And we're tied at 32 here. 10:20 to go. Randall up top being guarded by Wiggins. Fakes the hand off to Edwards. Now gets it out to him, being guarded by Larson. Coming to his left, dancing with the ball. They fake a double team. Now they get it over Highland. Highland dancing with it against Drew Smith. Coming to his left, down the lane, and gets fouled by Drew Smith. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Now we're getting some foul calls here. 10 minutes to go. McDaniels is there. Mikal Bridges is interesting. The biggest difference is that McDaniels is, at the very least, a consistent perimeter defender, whereas you don't know what you're getting defensively out of Mikal Bridges some nights. Highland misses a free throw. Can't be missing free throws. Those 2 missed free throws in a row for the Timberwolves. K. Hazy, what's up, K. Hayes? Randall's going to stop some players' heart with that shoulder one day. He did completely move the defender out of the way with that bionic shoulder he's got. Absolutely. Highland does at least knock down the second free throw. 32-33. Hero has it up top. Dancing with it against DiVincenzo. Crosses over down the lane. Scoop lay with the left hand. Got it to go. Excellent move from Hero. Terrible defense from DiVincenzo. Here comes Highland. Highland gets it over to Edwards. Edwards on the right wing. Now they kick it back to Highland. No hesitation 3 from him. Good contest from Wiggins, but the long rebound, DiVincenzo knocks it out to Reid. Now they get it over to Randall in the corner, being guarded by Jovic. Randle dancing with it. A lot of confident dribbling there. Loses the handle. Knocks it out to nobody. And that is a turnover for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Randle doing a little too much on that possession. So Drew Smith has it up top. Gets it over to Hero. Hero, the main focal point of this offense. Hero dancing with it against Highland. The defense from the Timberwolves to keep him out. Hero down the lane, draws the foul, but he passes it at the last second. Just that, so the ref was so happy to make that call too. He like fist bumped the call. Yeah, he so much so that I thought maybe he was calling a charge. I wasn't sure. I was like, did he call the charge there? Drew Smith gets it over to Jovic. Jab step coming to his left, down the lane, draws the foul. Naz Reid, and Jovic will go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Now it's starting to get a little chilly in here. I can close the window back up. Here we go. So Jovic will be at the foul line for 2 free throws. It is a 34-33 game here. Miami up by 1. Jovic knocks down the first free throw. Drew Smith comes out. Hello, Ware back in. And Jovic splits the free throws. He misses the second. Randle with the rebound, bringing it down the other way. They get it over to Highland. Highland has it up top, being guarded by Jovic. Coming to his right. They get it back to Randle. Randle coming to his left. Down the lane. Pump fake goes up. Misses the layup. Good defense from Jovic. Ware with the rebound. Quick outlet to Hero. Hero bringing it down. He's going to step back. Now they get it over to Jovic down the lane. A lot of contact. No foul call. And here comes Edwards. Edwards two-handed slam the other way. And an offensive foul. Minnesota waved the basket off. Who was running with him? Highland? Somebody, they're going to say, set an illegal screen for Edwards down the lane on the fast break there. Namar said, I got the Chargers beating the Patriots. I'm kind of with you, Namar. I'm kind of with you on that one. Yeah, they're going to say offensive foul call on Highland, who gets in the way of Hero, and there's not much there at all. Hero absolutely sells it. I think that's a bad call from the official. Hero bringing it down the other way. Hero throws a high lob up top to Ware. A bad pass attempt from Tyler Hero. Here comes Edwards bringing it down the other way. Edwards up top. Hero steps down the lane. They kick it out to Naz Reid. Naz Reid coming to his right. Hero steps, puts up a high floater over Wiggins. Got it to go for Naz Reid. A lot of contact, no foul call. And now here comes Wiggins bringing it down the other way. Wiggins in and out dribble. Coming to his left. Down the lane. Stop, turn, spin, floater. Got it to go with the turnaround float shot. Highland has it up top, being guarded by Larson. Coming to his left, off a Reid screen. Being guarded by Jovic now. Putting his head down, attacking to his right. Blows past the defense. Gets blocked by Ware. Nope, they're going to call it a goaltend. So 2 points for Highland and the Timberwolves. They get it out to Hero. Hero gets his way to the baseline, knocks down a baseline pull-up jumper over Naz Reid there. Now these teams going back and forth. Neither team able to build up too much of a lead after Minnesota has climbed their way back into it. And Edwards slices down the lane and gets the scoop layup to go with the right hand. Quickly answering back. Hit ahead to Jovic. Jovic on the right wing. They get it back to Hero. Now out to Wiggins. Wiggins being guarded by Edwards. Coming to his right. Stops, turns, spins, loses the handle. Picks it back up. Good defense from Edwards. Tries to get it out to Hero and knocked out of the air by Reid. And Reid gets an easy one-handed slam going the other way. If you're Hero there, you got to come to the ball, bro. They can't wait for the ball to come to you. And a full timeout for Miami. Don't love that effort from Tyler Hero there. Ball's coming to you. You saw that Wiggins was getting trapped in the corner there by Edwards after he lost the handle. He's going to throw a cross-court pass. You can't wait and kind of even fade back if you're Tyler Hero there looking for the pass. Like, you have to actively be coming towards the ball. If he's coming towards the ball, that's a foul on Naz Reid. Another foul on Naz Reid. But instead, it ends up in a turnover and an easy one-handed slam for Reid. Hey, it's a nice steal by Reed. Excellent steal by Reed. But like I said, if all Hero has to do is take one step forward towards the ball, which is exactly what you're taught in almost any sport. In baseball, in football, and in basketball. Particularly in basketball because of how short the court is. Sometimes it can be very easy to especially during a cross-court pass. If a guy's throwing a cross-court pass, you better be coming towards that ball and not away from it unless you're fading to the corner and you're wide open, which is a very rare scenario most of the time anyway. Tyler Hero, 2 lackadaisical there. Allowed Naj Reid to easily step into the lane. We'll give Hero a little bit of a pass coming back from the injury, but just, very reminiscent of the way he normally plays anyway. We'll give him a little bit of a pass with his first game back from the injury. Keep an eye on some of the scores around the league. Indiana with a 7-point lead, start of the fourth quarter. Now a 9-point lead, rooting for Indiana here tonight. Rooting hard for the Wizards to pick up a victory. Again, if you guys think that the sky's falling for the New York Knicks, look across the league. Look at these past couple of days. Past couple of days across the league for competitive teams all around. Everybody's picking up some bad losses here. Now, don't get embarrassed by 31. Don't get me wrong. We're not making excuses. I'm just saying. It happens. It happens. And like I said, at least the Knicks were losing to good teams. The Magic are losing to the Wizards, and the Cavs right now are losing to the Pacers. Now, both of these, well, maybe not the Magic. The Cavs could absolutely make this comeback happen. So, it's not much. It's only, 7 points? So. Jay Huff with 20, though. Spurs in a close one against the Grizzlies. And then tomorrow, the Knicks need a bounce-back game against a red-hot Clippers team. We have a Nuggets-Celtics ESPN game. We'll see who plays for the Nuggets after their G League team ended up beating the 76ers. But outside of that, the Thunder get another easy one against the Jazz. Hopefully they don't blow that one. I shouldn't even say hopefully. Because obviously we're rooting for Thunder losses, but... Spurs-Lakers is a late game. Not interested, not going to lie. Not even going to lie. We wouldn't be able to do it anyway. That's only a 2-hour difference. Need 2.5 hours in between these games. So we could do Bucks-Warriors or we could do Rockets-Blazers, and honestly, not all that interested in either of those. Lamar said I got 49ers beating the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are so inconsistent, it's hard to really pick one. All right, here we go. We're back into it. Powell is back in. Hero is back out. Mitchell gets it over to Jovic, hands it off to Powell. Powell driving to his right, down the lane, stops, pump fake, inside the Ware. Ware pulls it out to get it out to Jovic. Jovic coming to his right, being guarded by Clark, down the lane. Cross-court pass, Khalil Ware, wide open left corner 3. Airballs it. Whoa. No, don't know what happened there. The guy couldn't miss a shot against the Knicks, but shoots up in a wide open corner airball there. DiVincenzo, Nash dribbles around the basket, kicks it out to Reed, now over to Edwards. They show a double team to Edwards down the lane, and he draws the foul somehow. Surrounded by 3 defenders. Get your hands out of the cookie jars. My goodness. Mar said I got the Lakers beating the Spurs? I hope not. I'm rooting for the Lakers. Losses. It's so crazy. They show the replay of Rudy Gobert standing under the basket all by himself, and Naj Reid can't get him the ball. Edwards is at the foul line for 2 here. They are in the bonus, I believe. Just that's it. What's crazy about the NFL is the Giants and the Broncos beat. The Giants had the Broncos beat, and they won in a crazy display of ineptitude by the Giants. The Broncos record now is the best. It is crazy. The NFL is crazy that way. Edwards knocks down both free throws. Mitchell has it up top, being guarded by DiVincenzo. They get it over to Powell, down the lane, throws up a floater, comes up well short. Naj Reid with the rebound. Here comes Edwards. Edwards hit ahead to DiVincenzo, back to Edwards. Edwards up top, dancing with it against Powell, blows right past the defense down the lane, loses the handle, picks it up, tries to get it in the corner, knocked loose by Jovic, and then Khalil Ware throws it away. Not a great night from Edwards. I mean, decent night for Edwards. Not a great night for Khalil Ware. Not a very good second stint here in the second quarter. Tossing up the air ball and now throwing the ball away. (43-39), a 4-point lead for Minnesota here. DiVincenzo gets it into Gobert. Gobert hands it off to Edwards. Edwards coming to his right, stops, cross-court pass to Clark, swings through to his left, driving it down along the baseline, and draws the foul on Pelle Larsson. Is going to set him to the foul line for 2. We're past the halfway point of the second quarter here, 6 minutes. Clark knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. 4 for Bam, 4 for Ware, 8 for Powell, 5 for Larsson. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Powell. Taking 5 shots tonight. Clark knocks down both free throws. Here comes Larsson bringing it down the other way. Larsson gets it back to Mitchell. Mitchell gets it over to Powell. Swings through to his right. Pulls it back. Coming to his left. Up top to Larsson. Pass fake. Crosses over. Down the lane. Loses the handle. Out of bounds. Ball going back to the Timberwolves. And these are situations in which Miami desperately needs Jaime Jaquez out there and obviously not available with the injury. Seeing what one player can do can just fundamentally change a team's dynamic. The Knicks are feeling it with Josh Hart. Now the Magic here tonight are feeling without Jaquez. See if they can overcome it. In and out dribble from Edwards, gets to the rim, gets blocked by Khalil Ware. Great block from him. Bam bringing it down. Has it up top. Dancing with it. Get it out to Larsson. Larsson on the right corner. Pump fake, sidestep, puts up the 3. Airballs it. My goodness. At that point, you're not an off-the-dribble three-point shooter. At that point, get into the lane. McDaniel was a mid-range pull-up jumper, can't get it to go. Gobert knocks the rebound out, but Powell picks it up. Hit head to Larsson to the basket, scoop layup. Got it to go for Pelle Larsson. Great job not putting the ball back on the floor. If he did, likely gets chased down block there. Get it out to Clark. Clark spins to his right down the lane, throws it up at the rim, looking for a foul. He doesn't get it. Bam with the rebound. Quick outlet to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Powell. Pull up 3. Got it to go for Norman Powell. Back into the game and back to getting buckets. It's back to a 1-point game. 45-44 with 4:40 to go. Edwards up top coming to his right at the Gobert screen. A straightaway pull up 3. Got it to go for Edwards. Anything you can do, I can do better offense. You got to love it. You got to love it. Here comes Mitchell bringing it down the other way. You get it up top to Bam. Bam being guarded by Gobert. Gets it over to Larsson. Coming to his left being guarded by DiVincenzo. Larsson picks up his handle. Gets it out to Powell. Powell dancing with it. Pull up straightaway 3 over Clark. Can't get it to go. Looking for a landing violation foul. Doesn't get it. Here comes Edwards off the Gobert rebound. Edwards up top being guarded by Larsson. Edwards is saying, go, 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 Gobert. Hustle back down the court. Edwards driving it down. Loses the handle out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Minnesota. Edwards turns around to tell Gobert, I need you down here, brother. You need to get down the court, big dog. That said, the Giants dominated that game for 3 quarters. They couldn't close the deal. They really needed that win, but of course not. No, of course not. That is the luck of New York sports right now. Edwards has it against Davion Mitchell. He's got the size and the strength advantage. They call a foul on Mitchell on a pull in there after the spin from Edwards out of the post. Oh, Minnesota's in the bonus. So 2 more free throws for Anthony Edwards. Edwards misses the first free throw. Now up to 15 points here. Missed the first free throw. But he does knock down the second one, giving him 16 points. And Tyler Hero is back in the game. Here comes Mitchell bringing it down the other way. Get over to Powell, driving it down to the basket. Tries to get it out to Larsson. Does get it to Larsson. Larsson has it in the paint. Quickly throws it up off the rim. Can't get it to go past Edwards. And Edwards bringing it down off the Gobert rebound. Edwards up top. In and out dribble. Coming to his left. Takes it up top to Clark. Gets it back to Edwards. Edwards being guarded by Larsson. He's waving everybody past. And I got him. Let me cook. Sidestep 3 over Larson. Edwards can't get that one to go. Hero with the rebound. Gets chased down, but Bam able to pick up the loose ball and then gets fouled by Edwards. That's 3 foul on Edwards with 3:20 to go here in the second. Edwards quickly looks at his coaches and Chris Finch, and he said, come on, man, keep me in the game. But Randall gets up off the bench, probably going to come in here for Edwards. Just that said, Powell plus 65% on open threes made. That is only Norman Powell open. That man is a bucket. Man is a walking bucket. Edwards is going to walk back to the locker room. He's got a habit of doing this as of late. Davion Mitchell has it up top, being guarded by Conley. Quick crossover to his left. Bump. Puts up the floater. Can't get it to go past Conley. Randall rips away a rebound over Wiggins. Here comes Conley quickly pushing the other way. Hands it off to McDaniel. Gets it up top to Randall. Randall coming to his left, crossing over. Has it in the post. Leans in. Gets tied up by Wiggins. Knocked out of bounds. It's going back to the Miami Heat. Excellent defense from Wiggins. That is not an easy matchup. We're going to get a full timeout here from Minnesota. DeMar said Edwards going back to the locker room. He did that the other night where they were getting blown out and he went back to the locker room earlier before the game was over. Not a good look for Edwards. This time going back to the locker room before halftime is over after wanting to stay in the game, not another good look for Anthony Edwards. Still acting a little too immature here. Powell's up to 11. He's Miami's leading scorer, as we could see here. Ware with 8 rebounds. Mitchell with 4 assists. Highland with 3 assists. 0 turnovers for Mitchell. 1 turnover for Highland. Randall with 5 rebounds. And Edwards, their leading scorer, with 16, who's now out the remainder of this first half with foul issues. Miami is tied with Orlando at 20-16. Both teams playing here tonight. Continue to keep an eye on the rest of the league here. All right, halfway through the fourth quarter there. Indiana holding on to a 1-point lead. It's a back-and-forth affair there. Hopefully Indiana can pull that one out. Lamar said, I wonder if he's mad because the refs are calling a lot of fouls on him. I'm sure he is mad, but you still got to stay on your bench with your squad. And the Magic have somehow crawled their way back against the Wizards here. All right. What game do we put on? Probably the Cavs-Spurs game. I'll put on the second monitor here. That's fun. That's interesting. Comebacks happening all over. What was I going to look up? I was going to look something up and I can't remember here. Oh, I wanted to pull the game up. There we go. I was like, what was I looking for? Trying to pull the game up. Let's pull up this Cavs-Pacers game. Keep an eye on it. And then it calls a full timeout. They're a comeback from Cleveland tied up. And it wasn't much of a comeback. It was only like a 7-point lead. We'll keep an eye and see if on Cleveland is taking a 1-point lead. We'll keep an eye and see if Indiana can pull that one out. We'll also keep an eye on Wizards Magic because that's down to 7 with 9 minutes to go. My goodness. Orlando storming back at that one. I actually think the Wizards have a better chance of winning versus the Pacers here, but the Pacers game is already past the halfway point, so we'll put this one on the second monitor here. We'll keep an eye on it. Continue to go around the league. Here we go, though. We're back into our game here. Bam has it up top. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell, down low to Powell to the rim, gets swatted out of there by Rudy Gobert. My goodness, Rudy, what a block. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock for Miami as they'll retain possession. Not a lot of time left. Get it into Bam. Bam at the foul line, dribbling to his left. Stop, turn, under the basket, reverse layup, gets blocked by Gobert again, and a shot clock violation. Bad offense. Bad offense by Miami there. Isolating Gobert, isolating Bam Adebayo against Rudy Gobert is not really the strategy I would have gone with there. Conley gets it over to McDaniels. Jab step coming to his left up top to Conley. Gets it over to DiVincenzo. Curling to his right of a Gobert screen. And a foul on Tyler Hero trying to battle over the Gobert screen. And Gobert's going to go to the foul line because they are in the bonus. Courtesy of Anthony Edwards. They are in the bonus. So 2 free throws for Rudy Gobert. He's about a 50% free throw shooter this year. We do have the Miami game, we have the Miami game on the TV. We have the Cleveland, Indiana game on the second monitor over here. Gobert knocks down his first free throw, so we'll keep an eye on that game. We have 2.5 to go here in the first half of this game. This game's approaching the end here. Nembhard driving it down. Pacers need a basket here to retain the lead. Nembhard's being guarded by Merrill. Got to get a basket. Gobert, 2 perfect free throws. 2 perfect free throws for Rudy, and a 7-point lead is opened up for Minnesota, even with Anthony Edwards out of the game. Mitchell dancing with it, crosses over to his left to kick it out to Wiggins. Wiggins, a left wing 3. Got it to go for Andrew Wiggins. It's a nice big-time shot for Wiggins, propelling his team forward. Home run pass to McDaniels in the paint for a 2-handed slam. Oof. Great pass from Conley. Bad defense from Miami there. They don't get back on defense. Mitchell down the lane, scoop layup to the left hand, can't get it to go. Rudy Gobert came over for the help, and I'm sure that played a part in that miss. Get over to Conley, go on the baseline, gets under the rim with the Nash dribble, kicks it out to DiVincenzo for an open 3, and DiVincenzo continues to misfire here tonight. And then Mitchell knocks the rebound out of Gobert's hands, and Miami's off and running the other way. Powell to the baseline, throws up a floater, can't get it to go. If you're Powell there, you can't take that shot. And Minnesota quickly pushing the other way, over to DiVincenzo with the Nash dribble, kicks it out to Conley, open 3, sets his feet, fires, comes up short. Hero with the rebound, bringing it down the other way. Being picked up by Conley. Hero has it on the right wing. He should be looking to isolate here. Could absolutely take advantage of the matchup. Backing down Conley, backing him down in the lane, throws up a tough contested floater. Got the floater to go down, and the foul on Mike Conley will send Hero to the foul line for 1 more. And Miami now battling back. They can cut it to a single possession game. These teams swinging for the fences here. Cleveland now up by 3 here against Indiana. Nembhard misses a layup. Hero knocks down his N1 free throw. 3-point game, 1 possession game. Hero up to 10 points, 4 for 5 from the field. 53 from Minnesota, 54 Miami. Conley down the lane, leans in, trying to draw a foul. He does draw the foul. A late foul is called, but he does draw the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Foul on Mitchell. .107 to go. Cleveland gets the ball back here, 105-102. 4:30 to go in this fourth quarter. What you got for me, Indiana? What you got for me? Got to get this upset going. Craig Porter, 1 dribble pull up 3. Can't get it to go. Keeping the ball alive. Huff had it, lost it. Still loose. Diving on the floor for it. They save it over to Allen. That's not going to... It's not working out for Indiana right now. They're down by 5. Come on, Indiana. Come on, Siakam. Conley splits the free throws to get it out to DiVincenzo, and he finally gets one to go down. There you go, Dante. There you go. Larson on the right wing, driving it down, stops, pulls it out, pass fake. There's nowhere to go with it, so they get it out to Wiggins. Wiggins driving to his right, crosses back over to his left, down the lane against Randle, to the rim, gets fouled by Julius Randle. Randle immediately signals for a challenge. I don't think they're going to use a challenge there. But Wiggins will go to the foul line for 2 here. That's a D-Vofer. So far for DiVincenzo, man. Rough shooting night, but he finally got one to go. Edwards back on the bench, by the way, so that's a good sign. Maybe he just had to use the bathroom real quick. No, he went to the back to get some fruits. Okay, got some fruits on the bench. He's celebrating. Celebrating the Devo 3. Wiggins knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Wiggins goes 2 for 2 from the foul line. 50 seconds to go. Conley bringing it down. 57 to 52. 5-point game. Conley bounce pass to Randall. Randall lane. Loses the handle. Ball still loose. McDaniel was able to pick it up to the basket. Lefty layup. Got it to go. Jaden McDaniels not quitting on the play. Randall upset because he's not getting the foul calls he wants. But McDaniels cleans up the loose ball situation. Larson on the right wing. Pulls it all the way back out. Going to hold it for as long as he can. There's about a 8-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Powell up top coming to his right against DiVincenzo. Blows right past him to the basket. Easy layup. Got it to go in the end. One for Norman Powell. A little touch foul for Julius Randle right there. He giveth and he taketh away. DiVincenzo's 1 for 5 from three-point range tonight. Hasn't been the greatest of performance from Devo. Indiana trailing by 5 against Cleveland with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Come on, Indiana. Pull this off, big dogs. Powell is one more free throw. And he misses it, comes up short. Gobert with the rebound. Gets it over to Conley. Conley will bring it down. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Conley in Minnesota will hold it for the final shot. Driving it down. Coming to his left off a screen. Drew Smith chasing. He throws up the floater. Got it to go. Mike Conley. If you put 10 seconds on the clock, Mike Conley's going to make sure we get a good shot off. 3/4 scored he for Powell is nowhere near the basket. And 61 to 54 is our halftime score, y'all. Okay. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. We can go over team stats. We can go over box scores. And it looks like Cleveland's going to pull this one out. They're now up by 7 here. And Andrew Nembhard trying to foul bait hard there. My goodness. We can go over team stats. Let's go over team stats first before we go over box scores. Miami is now winning the possession battle by 4. Not a big difference, so I don't think it's really swinging one way or the other. Both teams have only made 21 shots. So, not only, but both teams have made 21 shots. 49 attempts for Miami, 45 attempts for Minnesota. Not too much to make of there, as it's too close to really garner too much information from that. Similar with the three-point shooting. 17 attempts for Miami, 20 attempts for Minnesota. Only a 3-attempt difference, and then a 2-make difference. 8 made threes for Miami, 6 made threes for Minnesota. That'll drastically change the way the percentages look, but for the most part, generating very similar looks and very similar makes for both teams here. The free throw shooting is the big difference here for Minnesota. It's part of the reason why they have a 7-point lead right now. 61 to 54 at halftime. 17 attempts to only 6 for Miami. Again, they don't have a ton of downhill drivers with physical force in terms of like missing Jaime Jaquez is huge for them because he's the guy who does that best. Gets them in the bonus early. Bam Adebayo going up against Rudy Gobert is a tough matchup for him. So he is struggling with that. The rebounding battle, very similar, 26 to 25, not too much to glean from there. And then both teams have 3 offensive rebounds apiece. The assists, Miami has 4 more. Steals 2 to 4, blocks 3 to 5. Total turnovers. Miami has 9 turnovers to 5 turnovers to Minnesota, 4 more turnovers. Despite them winning the possession battle and the rebounding being the same. Interesting development. Part of that is probably them getting fouled on shot attempts. So when you get fouled on a non-made shot attempt, it doesn't count towards your field goal attempt. So that's probably where the differential there is coming from, with how many more free throws they've shot. Nembhard knocks down a mid-range jumper. I'm rooting hard for Indiana to pull this victory off. Come on, Indiana. Fast break points 11-9. Very similar. Points in the paint 20-30. So Minnesota getting 4 more points in the paint. 10 more points in the paint so far. 10 fouls to 10 fouls. Very equally called game. The largest lead for Miami was 9. The largest lead for Minnesota was 7. Miami's led the game for 57% of the time to 35% for Minnesota. The rest of the time it's been tied. Pretty even matchup so far for the most part. Neither team able to build too large of a lead. There has yet to be a double-digit lead here tonight. We can go over box scores as well. The leading scorer, 13 points for Norman Powell. 16 points for Anthony Edwards. We'll get to Minnesota in a second. 3 for 5 from three-point range for Norman Powell. Which is nice to see for him. Shooting it well is always a good sign for Miami when Norman Powell is on the court. Khalil Ware with only 4, but he does have 8 rebounds and a block shot. I think it should be 2 block shots, but okay game from Khalil Ware. Not giving you much offensively right now. 4 points from Bam. Not really giving you much offensively either. He's 2 for 5 from the field. 0 for 1 from 3, 6 boards, 3 assists. Trying to impact the game in other ways other than just putting the ball in the basket. But when you're your second best player, Bam, I know you're being guarded by Rudy Gobert. But boy, oh boy, does your team need you. Trailing by 7. You need to step up. Andrew Wiggins stepped up in that second quarter. 2 for 3 from three-point range. 10 points overall. 1 rebound, 2 assists. Need him to rebound a little bit better. But he does have a steal and 2 blocks to go with the scoring prowess he's shown tonight. Nikola Jovic off the bench continues to be a bit of a disaster. They're trying to figure it out with Nikola Jovic, but he only got 3 points tonight and 1 for 5 shooting. 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers for Nikola Jovic. So not great. Not great for Nikola Jovic. I'll tell you that. Drew Smith, 3 points. He knocked down a 3. That was pretty much it. His only contribution. Some solid defense for the most part, but that was pretty much his only contribution. We get to Tyler Hero off the bench in his return game. Tyler Hero is back, baby. 10 point. Come on. Don't do that green screen. No, I don't like it when you do that. Tyler Hero, 10 points, 4 for 5 from the field. Don't do that. We're going to have to adjust you again. 4 for 5 from the field. He knocked down a 3. He got to the foul line. 6 rebounds as well. 2 assists. He does have the 2 turnovers. We're going to cut him some slack with some of the negative play, some of the defensive lapses, some of the turnovers. Mostly because it's his first game back. Shake off the rust. Okay, I get it. Coming off the bench, I do think is a good spot for him. You could see him. He's instant offense off the bench. 10 points for him in 14 minutes is great. Pelle Larsson, 7 points off the bench for him. 3 for 5 from the field, including a 3-point make, is very solid contributions there. No rebounds, no assist. I think these areas right here, the rebounding and the assist, the role players are not giving you a whole lot. Davion Mitchell has what? He has 0 points. He's 0 for 5 from the field. Boy, oh boy, do they need Davion Mitchell to make a basket. He does have 5 assists and no turnovers, which is very much in line with what he's done so far this year. Now we get over to the Minnesota Timberwolves side of the box score here. Randall with 8. McDaniels with 8. Gobert with 6. Dante DiVincenzo finally hit a 3. He's 1 for 5 from three-point range. Hit his last attempt there before halftime. And Anthony Edwards with 16 points, the star being a star. 3 for 5 from the three-point line. 5 for 6 from the free throw line. 4 for 8 from the field overall for 16 points is excellent so far for Anthony Edwards to go along with 4 rebounds and assists. He does have the 3 turnovers. I think he's doing a little too much whining and crying, looking for foul calls, and that's led to some of the bad turnovers where he's kind of dragging his arms through, flopping around, trying to get the officials to notice a foul. They're not giving it to him. Just that said, Jokic's vision has got to be affected by that huge honker. Crazy. Maybe. Off the bench, Naz Reid doing Naz Reid things. 5 for 7 from the field, 2 for 4 from three-point range. And I do believe he missed his first 2 threes of the game. So since then, he's been perfect. He's been perfect from the field. 3 rebounds, which is solid. 11 minutes, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 5 for 7 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. He got busy. When he got in the game, he got busy. 10 minutes for Mike Conley for the second most minutes played off the bench for Minnesota, which is interesting. Old man Conley getting the call up here today for majority of the backup point guard minutes. 3 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists for Mike Conley. He still got it. He just can't do it on an every single night basis, which is why he was removed from the starting lineup to begin with. But outside of that, I mean, Jalen Clark, he knocked down 2 free throws, grabbed 2 rebounds. Defense was okay for Clark. Similar with Bones Highland, 0 for 2 from 3, 1 for 3 from the field. He split a pair of free throws. Okay for Highland. He does have the 3 assists to only 1 turnover, which is nice for your guard off the bench outside of Conley. But all of this has accumulated to give the Minnesota Timberwolves a 7-point lead here, 61-54. We got a 3-point game. Indiana trailing Cleveland, 117-114. I have the game on the small screen over here, so when we come back for it, we'll call the ending of that game. But outside of that, the Wizards still holding on to a 10-point lead. It looks like they're going to pull it off against the Magic. There you go, Washington. Nice victory. Always, as Knicks fans, we got to root for Washington. Also, Indiana has the ball. They line up for a cross. Let's see what they got going on here. They got nobody open. And a 5-second call. Nah, they're definitely tanking, man. Definitely tanking. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Carlisle, what you got going on, big dog? What you got going on? And it's an over the back on Cleveland, so the ball's going to go back to Indiana. Oh, Cleveland. Now I hope this goes into overtime, just because, what was that? Judge that said Wizards are mounting a playoff push starting now. Listen, man, we have their pick. It's top 8 protected. We need them to have the 9th best record. Or more. B. Moore, what's up, B. Moore? Anthony Black got hurt or something? We can take a look. Take a look at the box scores. You can see how much he's played tonight. Anthony Black played 21 minutes. I don't know. 0 for 5 from 3, 3 for 10 from the field. They just think he had a poor shooting game. All right, let's see. Indiana's got another chance here. They catch a break. They get it in the Nembhard. Coming to his left and quickly gets fouled by Merrill. We got to do something about this fouling up 3 stuff, man. Come on. Let's hoop. I just think if we're under a minute to go, if you intentionally foul, the free throw and the ball back. Stop. That's it. As a matter of fact, we could even shorten it under 30 seconds. If you intentionally foul, it's a free throw and the ball back. Done. We're done. That's it. How about we could even make it as specific as possible. If you intentionally foul and you have the lead in the game, it is 1 free throw in the ball. We could literally make it that specific so that the rule literally only affects this exact situation where a team is up 3 points and then Nembhard splits the free throws anyway. We could literally make it that specific and then boom, you never have to worry about that's how simple the solution is. Adam Silver, literally implemented today. It's literally not going to change anything. Just that said, college needs that rule too. Every level of basketball. Bring it all the way down to middle school basketball. Every level of basketball. It needs to be as common as a regular shooting foul. It needs to be as simple as a shot clock violation. It needs to be as regular as a running clock at every level of basketball. It's simple. It is a simple. I just fixed it right there. Make the rule as what was the word I was using? Jesus. As specific as possible. Make the rule as specific as possible so it literally only affects this exact play. Under 30 seconds, if you intentionally foul and your team has the lead, or you could even make it even more specific. If you foul with the ball on the court, a non-shooting foul, if it's a non-shooting foul and you intentionally foul, or even You see, here's the thing, though, is because teams will just start going for steals. Just that said, you are anti-overtime? No. This might even provide overtime because look at the situation here. Indiana down 3. They inbounded to Nembhard, and Cleveland intentionally fouls. So they can't possibly put a 3 up. So now there is no possibility of overtime because now you're playing the foul game. And every team, no team is even playing defense. All we have to do is stay connected to you. The second you touch the ball, we're fouling, and you're sending you to the foul line for 2 free throws. You don't even have the opportunity to tie it. I'm pro overtime in this scenario. And the Wizards do end up beating Orlando here tonight. Got smoked. Also, hold on. The Syracuse game just ended. Want to take a look at that? See how our boy Kian Anthony. Funpei said, sup, Chevy. I slapped your like because your solution would be text for unsportsmanlike conduct final minute. We could literally make it as specific as possible, Funpei, of 30 seconds remaining in the game. 30 seconds remaining in the game. If your team has the lead and you commit a non-shooting foul, it is 1 free throw in the ball. That's simple. I just created the perfect phrasing. Just that said, this isn't fun to watch. Pacers are trying to hide. They're just trying to get a shot up. This is so anti-basketball. This is so anti-entertainment. Think about when was the last time we had a crazy buzzer beater? They don't happen as often anymore because teams are just like, oh, we're just going to foul you. We're just going to intentionally foul you. You're not even going to be able to get the shot up. This is anti-basketball. But Adam Silver is not going to do anything about it because he's terrible at his job. Kian Anthony tonight, 11.3 boards, 1 assist. Shut up, Kian Anthony. 18 minutes, 11 points. Solid. Third leading scorer in the game. We played 18 minutes, too. It's going to be good. Got the goods. Funpei said, why does your team have to be in the lead, though? The other team can be annoying, too. Well, this fouling when you're trailing, this is why you have to be specific, because fouling when you're trailing is you trying to extend the game to give yourself more opportunities to shoot the ball. Right? Which is why it has to be when your team is leading. Because if your team is trailing, then the other team can simply just run the clock out and dribble the ball out, swing the ball around. That's why intentionally fouling at the end, we'll send you to the foul line. All you have to do is make your free throws and the game would be over. I think that strategy is fine. I think that's a perfectly fine strategy. It could be a little bit annoying because you are slowing the game down, but the team is not trying to run offense for a basket anyway. They're just going to play keep away for 24 seconds and then maybe try to get a shot up at the end. So it's not like you're taking away from the offensive play there because they're not trying to run an offensive play. So allow teams to intentionally foul in order to get back into a game, but don't allow a team that has the lead to intentionally foul so that they don't have to play defense. That's why you have to phrase it that way. That's why your team has to be ahead. Looks like we're getting ready for the third quarter. Set our timer up. Let's go around the league one more time. It looks like Cleveland is going to end up pulling that one out, unless they already did, and that's the final score. But it is the final score, 120 to 116. We can pull this game down now. Unfortunately, Indiana cannot pull that victory off. But Washington does, and they end up beating the Magic. TG Penn, what's up, TG? Namar said, I also think the NBA and the NFL need to fix the rule when the Bills are trying to win a Super Bowl when they're playing the Chiefs, let time run out. I think that rule is honestly fine. Pine Cone Bliss, what's up, Pine Cone? Thanks for covering the heat tonight. You got it, Pine Cone, you got it. I do think this is the best game on tonight. Am I mistaken? I mean, Spurs-Grizzlies seems close. But I do think this has been the best game tonight. That is always the goal. Try to find the best game. Try to predict what's going to be the best game. All right, here we go. We're into it. Miami's already scored. I missed it. My bad. We don't need that because we have this here. Zoom out so we can see that. There we go. McDaniels knocked down a floater, so now it's 56 to 63. There we go. We didn't miss much. There's 2 baskets going back and forth. 11:30 to go. Timer's going too fast. They get it over to Wiggins, down the lane, scoop play with the right hand, gets blocked by McDaniels. And a carry by Rudy Gobert. Just that said, mix in the technical difficulties at the end of the Pacers game was a bad watch. Yep. Absolutely. And, I will say that these technical difficulties usually happen and always end up benefiting the home team whenever they need a break or anything like that. I think it's happening way too often right now. And Norman Powell runs into DiVincenzo and draws a foul, but it's a foul on the floor. If we're really all about improving the game and the product as much as possible, these are things that can be implemented yesterday. You know what I mean? I know everything needs approval from the board of governors and all of the things. Norman Powell slices down the lane and gets a layup. Nice layup from him. But these are things that literally could be implemented in the middle of the season, and it would not change anything. Edwards a pull-up three. Actually, it would change a lot. All it would do is allow teams to continue to play basketball. Nice pull-up three from Edwards. They're back up by 8. Here we go. Let's get back into the game. They get over to Powell, driving to his left to get it out to Mitchell. Mitchell fires a three. Too strong, can't get it to go. Mitchell continues to be terrible here tonight offensively. Can't buy a basket. He's moving the ball well. He's picked up 5 assists, but Edwards coming to his right, slicing down the lane, kicks it out to DiVincenzo the last second, the right wing three, knocks it down for Dante. We know Dante can catch fire in a hurry, and the largest lead of the game is opened up here. 11-point lead for Minnesota, 69-58. Mitchell down the lane, pulls it all the way back out. Mitchell up top, swings it out to Bam. Bam pump fakes, coming to his left, foul line pull-up jumper over Gobert, hits the front of the rim, can't get a soft bounce to go down. And Edwards grabs the loose ball rebound, bringing it down the other way. 10 minutes to go. Edwards on the left wing. They show a double team over to McDaniel. Shoves it over to Gobert. Gobert in the paint gets fouled. That's a foul on the floor. Bam arguing goes all ball. Definitely looked like somebody fouled Gobert. Nice pass from McDaniels, by the way. And good catch from Gobert. I know Gobert gets a lot of flack for not having the greatest of hands in terms of catching the ball, but it was a nice catch there. I think sometimes that stuff can be overblown. Minnesota swinging it around. Miami is in a 1-2-2 zone, 1-3-1 zone. The zone is shifting as it goes. Randall, a step back, mid-range jumper, can't get it to go. Good box down rebound from Khalil over Gobert. And here comes Miami bringing it down the other way. Hit ahead to Bam. Bam steps back for a foul line midi. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Long rebound. Randall able to pick it up, bringing it down the other way. Down the lane, throws a lob up to Gobert, and he throws it down with 2 hands. And Minnesota running away with it now. They're up by 13. What kind of answer does Miami have? They call a full timeout here. Spoelstra got to talk some things over. I was just complimenting how close this game has been. Georgie. What's up, Georgie? If I get Julius Randle at 50-plus fantasy points, I'm looking good at that case. I don't know how fantasy points are calculated, brother, but I'm rooting for you, Georgie. I'm rooting for you. Randle tonight, I can tell you a stat line. Got 8.7 boards, 4 assists, doing a little bit of everything. Doing a lot of bit of everything. A little bit of everything. Doing a little bit of everything. I'm sure you need some more points from him, though. I'm sure points reflect well for fantasy. Fantasy basketball was just never really a thing that caught on too much, huh? Nick Yak, what's up, Yak? He said, right now I'm missing Randall. I get the feeling, brother. I get the feeling for sure. It is definitely one of those times where you start looking at Karl Anthony Towns and you go, 1 rebound, 6 points. You didn't do anything. Anything that night? You couldn't give us anything. I need to look at Julius Randle with whatever you 8, 7, and 4. And you're like, all right, that's already better than what at halftime Already better than what Karl-Anthony Towns provided against the Pistons. Georgie said he needs 20-plus points and 3 more rebounds, and that's all I need, bare minimum. Halfway there, essentially. He can go on a heater scoring-wise. Depending how the rest of this game goes, they're holding on to a 13-point lead here. Depending how the rest of the game goes, I'm not entirely sure about the scoring. Not entirely sure he'll be able to get there with the scoring, but rebounding, he'll probably get there. Oda also said we got to win this one tomorrow. We've been saying that for 2-3 games now, Oda. Absolutely. You got to get off the schneid at some point, man. It's getting bleak out there. I keep going from turning the heat on to opening the window to closing the window, turning the heat back on, turning it off. Whew. Yeah, I said Randall playing point forward is what we're looking for again. I mean, look, Randall was great. Let's not pretend like he wasn't a headache while he was with New York as well. It is not easy to play with New York. To play in New York. It is not easy to play for the Knicks. It is the heaviest jersey in the league. Not making any excuses for guys. 6 points, 1 rebound is completely unacceptable. But like I said, let's not pretend like Julius Randle was not going out there and giving us stinkers as well. He was giving us stinkers. And doing it with a terrible attitude, too. Let's not romanticize the Julius Randle area. The Julius Randle era. It was a roller coaster as well. I'm fond of Randall. I do miss Randall. But I'm good on Randall. He had his time. We enjoyed it. It made us frustrated and annoyed. As much as Karl-Anthony Towns is making us frustrated and annoyed. It was time to move on. Here we go. We're back into it. Powell gets it over to Bam. Bam, a pull-up jumper, can't get it to go. And Bam continues to struggle, man. Tough night for Bam Adebayo here. Here comes Minnesota pushing it the other way. They get over to DiVincenzo, over to Randall, down the lane, slips and falls, and a foul is called on Norman Powell. Georgie said, oh yeah, you're a Knicks fan. Mets of the NBA. Nah, the Mets of the NBA is way too disrespectful, brother. Maybe in the past. Not anymore. Not under Leon Rose. They get over to Edwards up top. Miami's still in this 1-2-2 zone, it looks like. Maybe, yeah. And they lob it down low to Randall, and Miami's getting eaten alive out of that zone. I don't know if that zone's going to do it. Minnesota very comfortable running their offense through that zone. Randall gets the easy layup out of it. Wiggins up top attacking to his left. They kick it up top to Mitchell. They swing it over to Bam. Bam a right wing 3. And he got it to go. All right, there you go, Bam. Yak said Obi fans did that before. Obi, no problem. They kick it out to Edwards. Edwards a 3, maybe a long 2. His toe was on the line, it looked like. Doesn't matter, he didn't knock it down anyway. Here comes Bam bringing it down the other way. It's a 12-point game. They get it over to Powell. Coming to his right. Pull up straight away 3 over DiVincenzo. Air ball. Kalo with the offensive rebound, though. And more than enough time to run some offense here. 8 seconds now on the shot clock. They're just dribbling it out. Mitchell, one-on-one against Edwards. Down the lane, lefty layup. Got it to go for Davion Mitchell. Against Anthony Edwards. Tough drive and finish. DiVincenzo gets it over to Edwards. Edwards dancing with it up top, being guarded by Norman Powell. Edwards on the right wing. Dancing with it. Over to DiVincenzo. Over to Randall. Back to DiVincenzo. Back to Randall. Randall up top, being guarded by Bam. Sidestep, pump fake, leans in, gets caught in the air, kicks it over to Edwards. No dip 3, and Edwards gets it to go. The no dip 3. Such a tough shot to knock down. Mitchell coming to his right off the Kalo screen. Scoop layup got it to go. Now Davion Mitchell getting after it. Gets the foul as well. Going to go to the foul line for one more. Trying to get those 3 points right back. Yak said, don't compare Randall defensive problems and Cats. The defense was not great for Randall. I don't know how many times my man got caught watching off ball, not paying attention. And Karl-Anthony Towns, when he can stay out of foul trouble, which is not often as of late, has not been terrible defensively this year. He's actually been significantly better defensively this year than he was last year. The Fleas said, Cup champs, watch your mouth. The Flea said he used to quit on defense a lot. Too much pounding. He did quit on defense a lot. That's not rewrite the history of Julius Randle's New York tenure. Miami trying to rush it down the other end. DiVincenzo comes up with a steal. DiVincenzo with a nice backdoor cut to Edwards. Edwards looked like he got fouled. Missed the layup. McDaniels has it up top. Miami elects to not use their challenge there, despite Norman Powell's protest. Edwards coming to his left, up top, tagging down, stop, turn, has it in the paint now, pulling his way to the basket, looking for contact, looking for a foul. He doesn't get it. Here comes Miami bringing it down the other way. Edwards has it up top. They get it over to Powell. Powell coming to his right, off the Bam screen, driving it down in the lane. They kick it out to Jovic. Jovic, a left corner three. Got it to go for Jovic. All right, there you go, Jovic. As inconsistent as he can be, he cuts it to 8 there. Approaching the halfway point of this third quarter. Get over to Edwards. Edwards up top being guarded by Hero. Edwards is going to look to dance. This is a matchup he likes. Leans in, throws up a floater at the foul line. Got it to go for Edwards. Edwards sees Hero and he sees barbecue chicken. They get over to Bam. Bam has it up top. They get it over to Hero. Hero dancing with it, in and out. On the right wing, being guarded by Edwards. Ooh, quick crossover by Hero. Down low to Bam. Bam, lefty layup, can't get it to go. Maybe looking for a foul. Wiggins knocks the rebound out to Powell. Now over to Hero. Stops, pump fakes, now puts it up in the paint. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Gobert finally clears with the rebound. Quick outlet to McDaniels. McDaniels bringing it down against Hero. Stops, spins, fall away, draws the foul, and gets the bucket to go down off the friendly bounce. Foul on Jovic, who was the lone defender, backpedaling. And McDaniels will go to the foul line for one more. Yak said Randall's the main reason we went from 27 to 50. He took rookie RJ, Burks, Noel, and Elf to the playoffs. He did do that. Great year. Great year. That was 1 of 5, brother. That was 1 of 5 years. The year before that year, Yak, the years following that year, that year's great. I tip my cap to Julius Randle. I enjoyed his time here. Let's not pretend like it was not a headache having him around. Norman Powell crosses over down the lane, loses that out of bounds, and go back to Minnesota. Miami finds themselves back down by 13. Ball going back to Minnesota here. McDaniel did knock down his and one free throw, by the way. That's why it's 81 to 68 now. Conley has it up top. They get it over to Reed. Reed being guarded by Jovic. Tries to throw a bullet pass down low to McDaniels. It somehow finds its way through. McDaniels along the baseline, but he steps on that baseline. He can't tiptoe around it. The ball's going to go back to Miami. I think Miami catches a bit of a break there. Kay Hazy said, wow, I was going to call that a stupid shot. It did look like a stupid shot. It did. Hero bringing it down the other way, crosses over and gets fouled by McDaniels out on the perimeter. Getting too handsy. Too handsy. Detroit said, the Flea said, Detroit beat us into nostalgia. It's like thinking about your toxic egg just because your new girl started arguing. It's a pretty apt comparison, Fleas. It's a pretty apt comparison. I do miss Randall. I do like Randall, but I'm good on like wanting him back or being like, oh no, if only we had Randall. Like I'm good. Randall was a big headache here with the Knicks. I appreciate everything he did. But like I said, it was definitely time for a divorce. Edwards has it up top. They get over to Reed. Now over to McDaniels. Attacking Hero off the closeout. Lefty layup. Can't get it to go. Gobert battling on the glass. He can't hold on to it. Here comes Hero pushing the other way. So 3-on-3. Hero splits the defense though. Scoop away with the right hand. Can't get it to go. Good rim protection from Edwards there. And McDaniels, Hero steps down the lane. 2-handed slam. Can't get it to go. And gets fouled by Wiggins. It's going to send McDaniels back to the foul line. This time for 2. This time for 2. Got a fly in the room, hanging around the light. Hold on. Sorry, bud. You were not welcomed. McDaniels back at the foul line for 2. They're already holding on to a 13-point lead, which is the largest lead of the game, and extended to a 15-point lead. McDaniels splits the free throws. He missed the first and knocks down the second. 82-68, 14-point lead. McDaniels with 14 points himself. Hero has it up top, being guarded by Conley. Driving it down, kicks it out to Powell, hesitates, kicks it back to Hero, driving to his right, putting his head down, Hero stepping down the lane, takes a bump, puts up the floater, got it to go. Good defense from Conley, better offense from Hero. You get it over to Conley. Conley gets it over to Randall, jab step, driving down against Bam. Stop, turn, spin, in the lane. He gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Conley. Conley ran up the line. Conley gets caught in the air. They kick it out to McDaniels. Dan's with it against Hero, coming to his right, spins to his left, down the lane, puts up the floater, can't get it to go. Bam with the rebound. Good Miami defense there. Here comes Hero. Here comes Bam, shot out of the cannon. They kick it out, swing it over to Jovic. Jovic, a right corner three, comes up short. Wiggins, the offensive rebound in the paint, goes up, gets swatted out of there by Edwards. Here comes Conley pushing the other way, leaves it off for Edwards. He's just going to drive it down the lane, take some contact, can't get the layup to go, gets blocked out of bounds by Jovic. It's going to remain here in Minnesota. Under 4 to go. Yak said one tough fly, making it a winner. Yeah, I don't know where that fly came from. Because it's not like I've had the doors open. Not like I've had the windows open. I got screens in the windows. Not sure how the fly got in here. It wasn't a regular fly. It might have been like a ladybug or something, which I probably should not have smacked out of the air, but still. You were not invited. We're not invited. Anthony Edwards misses the mid-range jumper. Here comes Miami. Miami trying to mount a bit of a comeback here. They were down by 14. Hero steps down the lane to kick it out to Larson, who pump fakes, driving the baseline, and gets fouled by Edwards. This is his fourth foul. He said Ant looked like he was about to travel. He did. He did. Even Chinzo is going to come in for Anthony Edwards here. Edwards has the 4 fouls. Suns Jen, what's up, Suns Jen? Hope you're doing well, Sheffy. We'll be seeing you in a few days. You're catching us seemingly at the right time, Suns Jen. You're seemingly catching us at the right time, man. The Knicks are struggling. So it's probably going to be beneficial for you. Hopefully the Knicks get off the schneid and we have a good game, Suns Jen. All I'm asking for is a good game at this point. Stop getting blown out, Knicks. Hero driving it down, takes the bump, puts up a floater, can't get it to go. Randall clears with the rebound, bringing it down, gets it over to Reed. Naj Reed hands it off to Randall. Randall directing traffic. Get it over to Reed, being guarded by Jovic. Reed driving to his right, down the lane. Takes some contact, puts up a floater. Good defense from Jovic. And he chases down the loose ball rebound. Hit ahead to Hero. Hero, pass fake, kicks it out. Davion Mitchell in transition, an open three. And he continues to misfire in his jump shots. And a timeout from Minnesota. Holding on to a 12-point lead here with just under 3 minutes to go in the third. Namar said Knicks are going to beat the Suns. At this point, man, I can't say anything with confidence. I'm rooting for them. I think they absolutely should pick up a victory here. They got to start stacking victories, man. It's getting rough over here for the Knicks. Bernard Johnson, what's up, Bernard? How you doing, Sheffy? What's up with our Knicks? I wish I had an answer, brother. I mean, I can give you all the excuses. Schedule has been tough. Injuries mounting up. They are seemingly getting healthier, though. Josh Hart was maybe going to play tomorrow, but he's already been ruled out. He will not be playing tomorrow. But Ian Begley did put out a report that he heard it. He said that Josh Hart maybe will be available to play tomorrow. And then it recently just came out about an hour ago, hour and a half ago, that Josh Hart will indeed be out tomorrow. He's been listed as out, but he should be back in a game or two. So that's good. Knicks will be getting healthier. Josh Hart will be back very, very soon. Hopefully for the Suns game, because boy, oh boy, do they need the extra bodies going on the West Coast road trip here. And then Landry Shamet, Ian Begley said maybe he'll be back this week, but probably will be back next week. So we'll see. He is projected to be back within a week here, within a week. So Knicks getting healthier. They need these healthy bodies. We've talked about them not being deep enough to sustain these injuries, and definitely not injuries to good defensive players. Yak said nothing looks like a travel more than Wemby Euro steps. Yeah, even if it's just the Wemby 2 steps, Yak. Even we don't even have to go as far as the Euros. Literally just Wembanyama taking 2 steps to the basket still looks like a travel with how much space he covers. Namar said hopefully we have Josh back for the Suns game. Yeah, they need Josh. They need Josh desperately. Bernard Johnson said excuses are good. I mean, some people will call them reasons. Some people will say they're excuses. At the end of the day, you got to hit the play better button no matter who's out there. You can't be getting blown out by 30. There's no excuses for that. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care who the opponent is. You can't have a performance the way they had against Detroit. That was my goodness. K. Hazy said Josh is trying to force his way back. He and JB are cut from the same cloth. For sure. If this were a playoff series, we were in the playoffs, I'm 90% sure Josh Hart would be available for tomorrow's game. But obviously you don't want to rush him back before he's ready to come back. You don't want to it's very easy to re-aggravate an ankle injury like that. So just want to make sure he comes back healthy. And it seems like he's very close to returning. Maybe even a possibility he could have returned tomorrow, but he will be out another day or two. And will probably be available for the West Coast road trip. If not for all of it, then definitely for the majority of it. Shaman is the one I'm like, oh, come on, please. We need Landry Shaman back desperately. Just that's in Minnesota plays tight defense. They do. I mean, look, they got Edwards, good defender. They got McDaniels, excellent defender. They got Rudy Gobert, good defender. They got everything they need to have a good defense. Randall can be a good defender, but most nights is a pretty average defender. And then some nights is a bad defender. The issue comes with their defense. The issue comes when they go to the bench. Fernando, what's up, Fernando? Do you think Miami can come back? I do. There's more than enough time. We're not even in the fourth quarter yet. Just that to JB was frustrated yesterday. Sure. Be frustrated. But you are also the captain. You are the leader. So the expectations for you are significantly higher than they are for everybody else. Conley, a pull-up three off a screen. Can't get it to go. Bam secures the rebound, bringing it down the other way. They could either get it back to 10, or they can cut it to 9 here with a 3. Hero has it on the left wing up top to Jovic. They swing it over to Mitchell. Mitchell crosses over to his right, down the lane. Bump Euro, throws up a floater. Can't get it to go. Bam's tip can't get it to go. And now Rando secures yet another rebound, bringing it down the other way. Rando, in and out dribble, attacking, stops, turns, knocked out of his hands, and turns it over. Here comes Jovic pushing the other way. It's a 3-on-1. Over to Hero. High layup. Can't get it to go. Larson, the rebound. Can't get it to go. Randall picks up a loose ball steal. And now here come the Timberwolves bringing it down the other way. If you're Miami, you got to get a 3-on-1 fast break. You got to get a layup there. And then on the other end, Naz Reid able to get a layup at the rim. Jovic quickly trying to push the other way, draws a foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws with just under 2 minutes to go here. Just under 2 to go. Hazy smothered, nowhere to go from Miami. I mean, just kind of sloppy play from Miami there. Jovic at the foul line for 2. It's the first one to go. Jovic splits the free throws if you're trying to mount the comeback here. Trailing by 14, you can't split free throws. It's now a 13-point game, 84-71 here. Under 2 to go here in the third. They get over to Naz Reid. Naz Reid a straightaway 3. Can't get it to go. Hero with the rebound, bringing it down the other way. Hit ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell on the right wing, being guarded by Conley. Crosses over to his left, putting his head down behind the back. They kick it back out to Larson. Larson dancing with it. They get over to Hero. They swing it over to Mitchell. Mitchell gets it over to Jovic, who tries to take the baseline and gets fouled by Naz Reid. Jovic back to the foul line as both teams are in the bonus for the final minute and a half here. Pinecone Bliss, namaste, brother, namaste. Jovic knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. Just that said, Conley the same age as the refs. Conley probably older than a couple of assistants around the league. He's getting up there, man. 38. Jovic knocks down both free throws. Back to 11. Another stop, another score. Get it to single digits going into the fourth, and then it's anybody's ball game at that point. Randall on the right wing, swings through to his left. He's being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Huge mismatch here. Davion Mitchell's not going to give an inch, but Randall's just too big, too strong, too talented. Gets called at the foul line. Get it over to Najee to kick it up top to Randall. Bad pass. Randall's got to fire a 40-footer here. Got it to go. Julius Randle, nothing but net. Yes, sir. That's the Sarge right there. Julius Randle, big time shot. Hero along the baseline, knocks down a nice floater. Julius Randle with a heave. Got it to go. Still 12. DiVincenzo dancing with it. A step back three from him. Got it to go. The three starting to flow here from Minnesota. Up by 15, their largest lead of the game. Bam has it in the post against Randall. They kick it out to Mitchell. They swing it over to Hero. Hero blows past Clark in the lane. He throws up another contested floater, and he got it to go down again. Hero keeping the minute. But, man, do they need some stops. DiVincenzo dancing with it. Spots up for a left wing three. It's a DiVincenzo flamethrower. He's getting it going. He's sparking up the flame. Couldn't buy a basket to start the game. That's 3 made threes in a row for Devo. Mitchell has it up top. A 16-point lead is opened up for Minnesota, the largest of the game. Mitchell dancing with it. Quick crossover. The kick it out. Larson, a right wing three. Can't get that one to go. Randall, the rebound. Bringing it down. He's going to put it up at the buzzer. And he comes up short. And that will be the end of the third quarter right there. We talked about it was on the verge of being cut to single digits. And then just like that, Randall and DiVincenzo, a pair of New York Knicks, said not so fast. Namar said Dante red hot now. I mean, we've seen this, man. We watched this for 82 games a couple seasons ago. And boy, oh boy, do I miss it. I miss it. Oh, what I would do to get Dante DiVincenzo back on my basketball team, man. You know what's funny? You know, it's an interesting thought I had the other day. Just that said, Randall gets the crowd hyped there. I mean, he heaves up a 40-footer right at the buzzer with the defender right in his face, and he knocks another net. I'm getting hyped too. I mean, I'm not even a fan of this team, and I'm getting hyped. You know what I was thinking about the other day? Speaking of Dante DiVincenzo and former Knicks, I was thinking about if it were possible, and it's not possible, would you trade Karl Anthony Towns for Isaiah Hartenstein straight up? For the Benedict Arnold, the trader himself, would you trade Karl Anthony Towns for Isaiah Hartenstein straight up? And I thought, initially your brain was like, no, Hartenstein's not like an all-star level player. He's really good starting center. What are we doing? And then I was like, well, one of the best defensive big men in the league. Really smart, intuitive offensive player. He'd probably thrive in this offense. You're losing a second option offensively, but could you find one? Would you be able to find one? He said no. That's a no trading cat. I mean, listen, it's not happening. So I just thought about it. In my mind, it just popped into my head. And I was like, who would be a great center to have on the Knicks? And I was like, well, Isaiah Hartenstein, right? The guy we had. And I was like, well, would you trade Randall straight up for Hartenstein? Number one, saves you some money. Number two, cleans up your center rotation. You don't have to worry about Hartenstein every night. You don't have to worry about the defense anymore. Your defense jumps from being mediocre to, I think, being elite. For being honest, you have Hartenstein, Bridges, Anunoby, Josh Hart. Your defense jumps to being elite. That said, Cat retiring and Nick. I don't know. I don't know about that. Mitch walking next year. We'll see. We'll see how other teams value him. I think that's what matters. How other teams value him. Namar said, I would Hartenstein for Mitch. Yeah, no kidding we would do Hartenstein for Mitch. Hartenstein's a significantly better player than Mitchell Robinson. That's not the question. That's an obvious one. That's an obvious one. Yeah, and I would trade Mo Diawara for Giannis, guys. So you would trade Mitchell Robinson for Isaiah Hartenstein. That's an easy one. Okay, he said this is the 2-for-1 trade that the Timberwolves wanted. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just that I was just goofing. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I think it's a good question. I think there's a good chance he does walk, but we'll see. It's going to come down to how other teams value him around the league. But those are off-season questions, and we are in the middle of a basketball game here. Bones Highland starts the fourth quarter here for the Timberwolves. He has it up top, being guarded by Jovic on a switch. Coming to his right. No, Miami's in a zone. A 2-3 zone. Can't get up top to Highland. A straightaway three. The shot clock winding down. Can't get it to go. Khalil Ware battling for a rebound on a loose ball foul on DiVincenzo. So the ball will go back to Minnesota here. To Miami here. He said, I still think Ihart is an overrated defender. In my opinion, his value is his offense. By the advanced metrics, K. Hazy, he's one of the best defensive big men in the NBA. For the last 3 years, he's been there. So it's not just a fluke. It's not just like, the numbers make sense because he's on a great defensive team. He's been there the last 3 years. So he's literally at the highest highs in like the top 1 percentile or top 99th percentile of defensive impact players. He's not a great one-on-one guy. We saw him get cooked multiple times. But the defense is very impactful. Naj Reid down the lane, throws up a floater, can't get it to go. Gobert battling on the glass. Reid battling on the glass, knocked out of bounds. Going to go to Miami. Still 93-77. Minute into the quarter here. They get over to Powell. Powell on the left wing, coming to his right. Down the lane, knocked out of his hands. Powell picks it up, shovels down low to Ware. Ware spins, throws up the righty hook. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. And Gobert has it. Quick outlet to Highland. Shovels it over to Reid. Reid on the right wing. Shovels it over to McDaniels. Back to Reid. Reid in the high post, being guarded by Norman Powell. Inside to McDaniels. Big one-handed hammer in the paint. Rose up quickly before Khalil Ware could even think about challenging him at the rim there. And the lead up to 18. Minnesota threatening to run away with it against Miami here. They better knock down some perimeter shots here, but Minnesota's locking in defensively. McDaniels one-on-one against Hero, gets him caught in the air. They kick it out to Powell. Powell being guarded by DiVincenzo. Kick it over to Mitchell. Mitchell crosses over, step back, mid-range, fall-away jumper. Can't get it to go. And Gobert knocks the rebound over to Reid. Reid quickly bringing it down the other way, looking to take advantage of a not set-up defense from Miami yet. They get over to Highland. Highland up top, coming to his right with the Gobert screen. Miami forced to play man-to-man as they couldn't get their zone set up. And Reid now dancing with it against Jovic, backing him down, bullying his way into the paint, flips it up the right hand, off the back rim, can't get it to go. Gobert gets the offensive rebound, and then gets the ball taken away out of his hands by Jovic. Here comes Miami pushing the other way. Cross-court patch, Jovic, a right wing three, well short. And DiVincenzo with the rebound, and they're going to slowly bring it down the other way. Now you want a good shot here. Get it up to 20. It might be a dagger for Miami. Time ticking down. Get over to Highland. Highland coming to his right. Steps back. Spins. Being guarded by Powell. Dancing with it. Crosses over. Knocked out of bounds by Powell. Good hands from him. Just that said Mitch will go to the Lakers. I don't know if Mitch is an LA guy. They get it out to McDaniels, a straightaway three with the shot clock winding down. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Reid able to secure the offensive rebound. Inside to Highland. Highland will pull it back out. 9:30 to go. And Minnesota doing a really good job of generating good offense, but also winding down the clock here. And Highland a step back mid-range shot. Can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Norman Powell pulls it away. Still an 18-point game. Powell crosses over down the lane to the basket. Can't get the scoop reverse layup to go. Highland with the rebound. Quick outlet to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo up top. A straightaway three. Knocked me down. Ooh, came up short on it. Would have popped off for that one. Here comes Norman Powell quickly trying to push it the other way. He's going to stop and then hesitate and then get it over to Mitchell. Back to Powell. Powell coming to his right against DiVincenzo. Takes the bump. Puts up the shot. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Khalil Ware able to pull it away. Steps behind the three-point line. Chucks it up. Can't get it to go over Gobert. And now here comes Minnesota bringing it down the other way. And Miami really chucking up shots right now. I think losing faith in their offensive decision-making. And now Highland walks into a wide-open straightaway three, and he gets it to go. And that one is probably the dagger. 21-point lead, 8:42 to go. More than enough time, but honestly, with the way they've been playing, all momentum pointing towards Minnesota right now. Just that said, Lakers like injury-prone centers. They do. They do. Antonio said, Edwards coming back, or did he foul out? I need one more from him. We'll see if he comes back in. Minnesota up by 21 here. He did not foul out. He has 4 fouls. Shows that Hartenstein has defended everyone and shows that he's elite top 15 currently. Hartenstein's great. As much as I hate his guts and will forever hate his guts, he's incredible. And it makes me sick that he's no longer a Knick. And the Knicks lost him for nothing. Right? At least DiVincenzo, I could be like, well, you know what? They traded for an All-NBA center. Even if the All-NBA center, drives me crazy. At least they got something back for him. He said Highland getting shooting practice mid-game. I mean, there's nobody from Miami even hustling out. You're down by 18. Make the extra effort. Somebody. There's 5 guys on the court there. Somebody be like, you know what? This is fake effort. This is fake hustle, but I'm still going to fake hustle my way out there and maybe put a hand up. Nobody even does that. Everybody's just like, damn. Who left that guy open? That ain't my responsibility. Like, we can't be doing that, man. We can't be doing that. Highland catches it, 28 feet out, and he's wide open. And if a guy maybe hustles out, he catches it that deep, and he's like, damn, I'm open. Let me just dribble up to the front of the line. He said, damn, I'm open. Spun the ball a little bit, lined up the seams, shimmied the shoulders, pulled the legs, stretching out the hammies real quick. Stretching out the quads. He said, damn, I'm still open. He said, all right, I'm just going to take it. And the entire time, Miami's like, hey, that guy's wide open, isn't he? Dang. Defense is pretty bad right now, huh? Nobody making the effort out there. Yeah, he said, Hartenstein is the only one on our team getting cooked by Embiid. Even Brunson defended him better. He did get cooked. He did get cooked by Embiid. Not the greatest one-on-one defender, but also could have just been a bad series. Mayweather said Minnesota money. They're moving, Mayweather. They're moving right now. They are hooping. We got 8:42 to go. Sync our timer up perfectly. There we go. Getting back into it now. Here we go. Most bench season leaders for most bench points this season. Naz Reid is 3rd. Quinn Grimes is 2nd. And Jaime Jaquez is 1st. Huge miss for the Miami Heat. Missing Jaime Jaquez big time. 8:30 to go. Get over to Powell. Swings through to his left on Edwards. Throws up a tough contested floater. Gets a nice friendly bounce off the front of the rim. Gets it to go down. All right, they're going to need a huge comeback if they're going to make this thing happen. See if they got it in them to even make it interesting. Gobert hands it off to Edwards. Edwards has it up top. He's back in the game to get it over to Highland. Highland off a Gobert screen. Great screen from Gobert. Highland can't get it to go. Good box out by Jovic, but he can't. Nobody snags the rebound. And then a foul on Jovic. Now they call a foul on Reid? I think that's a bad call. I personally think that's a bad call. That's a bad call. I don't see a foul on Naz Reid at all. If anything, there's a foul on Jovic. I don't think there's a foul either way. I think it's a play on, but definitely not a foul on Reid. 8 minutes to go. Norman Powell tries to hit Hero comeback door. Hero is not committed fully to the cut. Powell threw a bullet. Hero can't hold on to it. It goes out of bounds. Ball back to the Timberwolves here. Leading by 19. Highland up top. Get over to McDaniels. Wide open left wing 3. Got it to go. Rudy Gobert setting these off-ball screens, getting his shooters open. Jovic gets it over to Larson. Now back to Jovic. They swing it around to Ware. Now back up top to Powell. A lot of ball movement from Miami, but they're going east to west, not north to south. North to south. Powell driving it down. Tries to leave it off to Ware. Ware able to recover the loose ball. Can't knock down the lefty floater. Just rims out for him. Rough night for Kel'el Ware. Rough night for Bam Adebayo. Rudy Gobert locking up that paint. Edwards, pull up three. Can't get it to go, but it doesn't matter. Gobert gets called for a moving screen. Too much dancing from Edwards. Gobert didn't know where he was supposed to screen there. Hero pulls up the three, can't get it to go, and again, down by 22 here. Not looking good for Miami as we're approaching the halfway point. Edwards down the lane, flips it up with the right hand, got it to go. Whoever needed one more bucket from Anthony Edwards, they got it right there. Jovic dancing with it, driving to his right. They kick it out to Kel'el Ware, extra pass to Hero. Hero an open three, comes up short on it. And this one is wrapping up. Minnesota walking the ball down. We're approaching the 6-minute mark. Once we hit that and you're down by 20, extremely unlikely unless you just start jacking up threes. Edwards misses the mid-range jumper. Hero with a long rebound, bringing it down. Gets fouled by Highland. Transition take foul. Highland intentionally takes the foul. It's a 3-point for Miami here. 24-point lead for Minnesota. Antonio said me, LOL, but now with Randall in. I need 2 more from him, and I'm cashing in. Randall is not in the game right now. Tyler Hero takes the free throw, and he knocks it down. Randall not in the game right now, big dog. He is in the game. He just subbed in. Randall is in the game, big dog. What do you need from him? You need 2 more from Randall? Like 1 more bucket? One more bucket, 2 more points? Gregory Hughes, what's up, Greg? Why is he standing in front of the lineup? Because I'm talking about it, brother. If you want to know, I'll let you know. Powell down the lane, they swing it around. Larson fires up a 3. Can't get it to go. And you're not making a comeback with 3 points not going down. Down by 23 with 6 minutes to go is highly unlikely anyway. But you definitely got to start jacking them up now if you want any chance. McDaniels down the lane. They kick it out to Highland. Highland across the lane. Over to McDaniels. Bullet pass over to Randall. Randall in the left corner being guarded by Hero. Dance with it. Has him in the post. Kicks out to McDaniels. Walks into an open 3. Comes up short. Gobert the offensive rebound. Leans in. Gets the layup and the foul on Kel'el Ware. Gobert getting in on the action as well. And that might as well be the final nail in the coffin. A 25-point beatdown. Gobert going to the foul line for 1 more. Lamar said Timberwolves are going to win the game. I would think so, brother. I would think so. It would take a generational collapse here for Minnesota to lose it. Antonio said, wow, I cashed out as soon as you said that. Shout out to you, Antonio. Shout out to you. Gobert at the foul line for 1 more. Been perfect so far tonight and remains perfect. 50% free throw shooter. Perfect night for Rudy. Been that kind of night for Minnesota. Norman Powell pump fakes down the lane, flips it up the left hand. Got it to go for Norman Powell. Nice finish from him. But at this point, we are just playing for the final score, y'all. We are just playing for the final score. We'll probably end this one here tonight. The next stoppage and play, the next time out. Randall spins in the lane, takes a bump, puts up the floater, can't get it to go, but he will go to the foul line for 2. Will go to the foul line for 2. He said, I think the Wolves might win, but the Heat are known for their great comebacks. 5 minutes to go, trailing by 24. That one might be a little out of their range. It might be a little out of their range. Randall, the foul line for 2. Knocks down the first one. 5:14 to go. Perfect. Greg said, do you think Clark from Minnesota will have another 2-point attempt? Maybe. Yeah, probably. Minnesota up as many as they are. You'll probably start to see the bench guys come in soon here. Maybe around the 4-minute mark, 3-minute mark. And so Clark, one of the actual rotation players who will probably come in, will probably look to take some shots. They call an offensive foul on Larson. we could just go ahead and straight look at the box scores here. Wiggins with 10, Powell with 21, Bam with only 7, 7, 11, and 3. Khalil Ware with only 4 and 11. Randall takes it out to Highland. Highland pump fakes, driving down the lane, pump, all the way jumper, comes up short. Gobert, another offensive rebound and put back. My goodness. And there's the full timeout. We're probably going to end it there, y'all. We're probably going to end it right here, the full timeout from Miami. This one's over. Both teams likely to wave the flag here. Game being over. Probably going to get the end of the bench guys in. That's a pretty good percentage of likes and views. Thank you. Appreciate you, just that. I have not looked at the likes here tonight, but I appreciate you guys for joining me here for a non-Knicks game. Our first non-Knicks game in almost a week. We just had back-to-back, and then the Sunday, and then the Monday game. So last time we did one was, what, Thursday. Almost a week. Almost a week, man. Mar said Spurs are good. We'll go around the league real quick before we sign off here. Hero with 17 off the bench. Really missed Jaime Jaquez tonight. Did not have him available with the ankle injury. Randall with 15, McDaniels with 19, Gobert with 13, DiVincenzo with 12, Anthony Edwards with 26. He led the way. Naz Reid off the bench with 14. Everybody who you need to score ended up scoring. They got 3 from Conley, 2 from Clark, and 6 for Highland. Their bench is going to be an issue come playoff time, but the starters are solid. Naz Reid is your sixth man, is solid as you can get around the league. They do need to make a trade and maybe find some depth here that they could actually trust, because Clark, Highland, and Conley are not the way. They do have Terrence Shannon, who they also try to get in there as part of the rotation, but he is not available tonight. He's out with an injury. But everybody in the positive in here for Minnesota was that kind of night. Let's go around the league. Oh, San Antonio, Memphis in a close end there. 103-101. What does Champagny have? Okay, he's not leading the way. Wemby is up to 30. Champagny, the last time we texted, was 4 for 5 from 3. He has 23 points. He's 5 for 8 from 3, 7 for 11 from the field. Wemby back off the bench? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why is Wemby off the bench again? What is going on? Get rid of that. We can go back around the league here. Lakers, Spurs. Lakers are pulled away. They'll walk away with a victory here tonight against the Pelicans. And we know the Wizards beat the Magic, and we know the Cavs beat the Pacers. So that's going to wrap up our night. We will be back tomorrow. Obviously, the Knicks play tomorrow against the Clippers. We have been talking about this. They need to get off the schneid. They need to pick up this victory. Kawhi Leonard has been hooping as of late. So this will be a tough matchup. No Josh Hart, who's already been ruled out. Landry Shamet is close to returning, but he's also not available for tomorrow. So here we go. Here we go. Pick up a victory. Pick up the victory. We can take a look at the Clippers real quick, and because we know they are an injury-laden team. If we take a look at their injuries, Harden is questionable. Bogdanovich is out. Jones Jr. is out. Bradley Beal is out for the season. Just that said, when is my birthday? Sometime in January, brother. Sometime in January. I will be taking one of these days off. It's not on my birthday, but one of these days off to go watch a game. Do it every year in January. It might be the 19th game, the MLK Day game. That is the game we always go watch. It might be that one. It might be that one. Both teams have waved the flag here. They have their end of the bench guys in. Namar said, let's big win. It's in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I mean, they're back home for one more game, and then they're on to a West Coast road trip. How it goes, man. It's how it goes. So James Harden is questionable. We're just going to have to keep an eye out on that for tomorrow. It is a 7:30 start time, so 7 o'clock is our pregame shows when the show will start. That's what percentage of Super Chats do you get to keep? I don't know what the exact percentage is. I think it's either 70% or 50%. I could Google it. I'm not entirely sure. Not even entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure because I don't ask for Super Chats. I could literally just Google it. I'm sure they have it online. What percentage? And super chats do you keep? YouTube typically takes 30% of the cut from super chats. So you get 70% of the super chat. YouTube takes 30. Pretty good. 70-30 cut is pretty good. The Flea said, bring a phone and go live. I will have my phone. Maybe I'll take some pictures, record some videos. Maybe. I just, there's so few times I get to actually, nowadays I get to actually just sit back and watch a basketball game. Considering, especially now that we go live 6 days out of the week, there's so few times I could actually sit down and just enjoy basketball, enjoy NBA basketball. I get to enjoy other things like college basketball. There's so few times I get to enjoy NBA basketball that I might just take that night to enjoy myself. Enjoy the basketball being played. I don't have to. The Fleet said jokes. I know it's jokes, but I've thought. Just me, Fleas. I've thought about it. Like I said, I might take pictures. I might take videos and maybe make a vlog out of it. But I just want to enjoy my time at the Garden. Only go once a year. Tickets are super expensive. Don't want to get to a point where I'm not taking in the experience. Going to the Garden is special time, especially with how expensive things are. So, just that Ingles sighting. Yeah, once Ingles is in the game at this point in his career, this one's over. 3 minutes to go here tonight. We're gonna wrap it up. It's 112.84 now. That's gonna be it. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me here tonight. The Spurs-Grizzlies game ended up being the best game of the night. But to be honest, I was not all that interested in watching the Grizzlies play. I could put it on over here in the Gamecast just to take a look. Grizzlies up by one. Or did the game just end? The game just ended and the Grizzlies pulled it off. Sohan was in there? Sohan played today. All right. How did that end? Jock Londale missed 2 free throws. Cam Spencer hit a step-back jumper. Sohan missed a step-back 3. So Jeremy Sohan, who's been out of the rotation, ends up taking the potential game-winning shot and misses it. And then Santi Aldama blocks the Aaron Fox's 14-foot step-back jumper. And that ends it. Great defense from Santi Aldama. So that's going to end us here. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the channel members, as of course. Thank you guys, whether you intentionally became a member or you were gifted a member. I appreciate you guys nonetheless. It was a fun, interesting night. We finally got a game away from the New York Knicks. It just, unfortunately, was yet another blowout. Our 4th straight blowout. 3 of them courtesy of the New York Knicks. And then here tonight, Minnesota blows out Miami. But we will be back tomorrow for hopefully a New York Knicks victory. We need it desperately. Don't lose 5 in a row. We will be back. And hopefully a lot happier. The Knicks practice today. Josh Hart. We got good news on Josh Hart and Landry Shamet. They are on their way. Right? The troops are in the back, y'all. It's loading. We need to prepare for this West Coast road trip. They need a victory. Desperately, we need something to believe in again. So with that being said, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We will be live tomorrow at 7 o'clock. As always, half hour before tip-off time, so go through our pregame rundown. And boy, I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. I'm sure a lot more will come out tomorrow as well, because nothing is ever slow with our New York Knicks. Make sure you brush your teeth before bed. Stay hydrated, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye. Bye. There we go.